Cloudy skies and 77 degrees at 3:02. Good afternoon. I'm Susie Jones. Minnesota Secretary of State Steve Simon is defending the state's primary recount rules amid several voter-related cases in the state.
Simon is pushing back against MyPillow founder Mike Lindell's decision to withhold a nearly $1 million payment for a state recount because Lindell wants it to include all candidates. Simon tells WCCO Radio's Chad Hartman that's just not how the law works.
It's got to be segmented in this way.
Lindell, who lost the Republican gubernatorial primary to House Speaker Lisa Demuth, argues that limiting the scope of the recount is unlawful. Simon says he expects that suit to be settled quickly. This comes as the U.S. Supreme Court recently cleared a hurdle for an executive order restricting mail-in voting. Simon says 2 months from the midterm election, he likes Minnesota's chances of winning this fight.
All they did was open the door to having the argument, which we now definitely will, about whether this thing can proceed even further. I like our chances.
Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Far-right extremist Jake Lang will not be charged with a felony after being arrested for attempting to incite a riot in Minneapolis on Saturday. Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty called Lang's conduct despicable and disgusting and says she does not condone his behavior. But after a review of extensive evidence of communication and logistical coordination between the Minneapolis Police Department and Lang's security detail, she said there is not a path forward for felony charges to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. An emergency hearing is happening right now in Texas, where Hennepin County prosecutors and lawyers for the Minnesota Attorney General's office are asking a federal judge there to force the extradition of Christian Castro, an ICE agent who shot an immigrant in the leg in Minneapolis this past year. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has so far refused. This comes as CNN today reporting the U.S. Justice Department is considering whether or not to charge Castro as well. Twin Cities defense attorney Joe Tamburino called it a very fluid situation.
Obviously, if the federal government steps in and they charge him, well, then he's going to be in federal custody, which really makes the Minnesota issue moot.
And we'll certainly bring you any updates on that story throughout the afternoon. Minnesota cattle producers remain skeptical after the Trump administration moved to reopen a border crossing in Arizona to cattle from Mexico yesterday in an effort to reduce record high beef prices. Caitlin Root is from the Minnesota State Cattlemen's Association. She spoke with WCCO's Adam and Jordana about the growing frustration among cattle producers.
Consumers are seeing an increase in many different items at the grocery store, yet the administration seems to keep focusing all of the attention on beef, even though it is not the only item experiencing these price changes.
Economists are not so certain, though, that the move will, in fact, lead to lower beef prices in the U.S. WCCO News Time is 3:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Well, after slowdowns are in place, traveling South 35E, Victoria Street, heading down to Shepherd Road. Cedar South jammed up as make between 494 and Old Shakopee Road, and 35W southbound. So through Bloomington as make way past 106th Street, heading down to Highway 13. USPS Ground Advantage reliable route. That's one that's running smoothly with no hassles whatsoever. That's 169, looking good, 610 to 394 in both directions. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
B&M Tree Services, certified arborists offering tree trimming, storm cleanup, and full tree removal with professional service at prices you can afford. Call 1-800-569-9034 or visit bnmtree.com. Trusted, professional, reliable.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by B&M Tree Services. Here's WCCO TV. Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
It stays mild overnight tonight, but the sky clears out, dropping back to 66. Tomorrow, pretty close to average. Partly cloudy, 81. A bit of a breeze behind that cold front. Northwest wind, 10 to 15 miles per hour. How about the first day of the state fair? Glorious. Sunny with a high of 81.
Right now, cloudy and 77 on News Talk 830 WCCO.
The app that informs, the app that entertains. The only app you need for streaming, podcasting, and more is the Odyssey app for News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRusha.
I spent about 20 minutes in my car listening to Dolly Parton songs and crying today. I am still a little shocked how emotional I am about the news that Dolly Parton is gone. It's Drive Time. I'm Jason. Dan is here. Susie keeping us up to date on the news, and we're sort of going through it together. I think there's a generational aspect here where if you're like me and you grew up in a household in the 80s and your mom or maybe your grandma, and it's, I mean, not to gender this, but it's moms and grandmas that were listening to Dolly Parton in the 80s. And in a time where celebrities just let you down, one after the next. You love their music, you love their artistry, and they become a monster one way or another. Dolly Parton got better with time. There was something about her music, about her life, about her attitude, about her humor that made you think, this is the American dream. This is the America you want. That when you hit it big, you're going to take care of your family, you're going to take care of your community, and you're never going to forget about where you came from. There was something in Dolly that I think represented the best of us. I don't know. That's the best way I can make sense of this because I am never impacted by celebrity deaths. And that's why I thought we should start here today. I welcome you into the conversation, share your memories, explain what you're going through, because I'm still kind of trying to make sense of it. At 651-461-9226. I wanted to bring in a country radio Hall of Famer. Marcy Braun is with us. Marcy runs The Wolf, 102.9 right here in the Twin Cities, and she runs a legendary country radio station in Chicago, US 99. Marcy, are you going through some of these same emotions that I've been talking about here? Oh, I think your microphone's muted there, Marcy. There we go. Now we got you, I think. No, still no? Let's see. Marcy? No, we don't got you. Let's why don't we give Marcy a phone call? You know, sometimes we try to do this fancy on the video chat. You know, Marcy's a big shot for this company. Maybe you can get the technology fixed for us here. That's what I got to say. Look what just, oh, I hear you now.
Oh, great. I did. It was probably me. It was me.
I don't want to blame a radio executive for not knowing how to operate a microphone, but that does
You
seem,
should.
yeah.
You 100% should.
Marcy, I mean, I was sitting in the car listening to Dolly Parton's nephew share his story, and we'll play that in a minute. But this, I was surprised how overcome I was by this news today.
I mean, I feel that Dolly is immortal. I mean, I know that she's been hinting lately about some health issues, but yet she's always been present when she's done that. She's always done the videos, and we've always seen her, and she's always, you know, had a smile on her face. And so I think that there's just part of me that thought this day would never, ever come.
When you think about country music and Dolly Parton's importance, for me, I've been struck by in the modern era how much she's been a mentor for, you know, you look at Miley Cyrus, who was her goddaughter, but you think about generations of country women in a genre that for a long time it has been the country dudes, the big swagger, big cowboy hat. And here comes Dolly with her own approach.
She's the gold standard. Let's look at everything that Dolly's done. I mean, not only an amazing singer-songwriter with 25 number ones to her name, but also she's an amazing actress. She's an amazing philanthropist. I mean, just look at what she's done. I mean, she donated all that money during COVID for COVID vaccines. She's donated millions of dollars for cancer research. This woman not only came into this world being the angel that she was, a real life angel on life, but she wanted to leave this world better than she found it. And the connection she has with not only the country audience, but just the global audience. I mean, I dare you to find someone that didn't love Dolly Parton with all their heart.
Yeah, I mean, the New York Times wrote that story in, I think it was 2019, where it was talking about a divided America. And it said, is there anything we can agree on? Oh, yes, it's Dolly Parton. It is the one, right? I mean, there is some truth to that. To me, I remember, and I think back, in the 80s, she was really becoming a TV star as well. And she had her own variety show. I just remember her with the Muppets over and over again in my childhood. And there was something about that self-deprecating humor. Today, you look at the way that celebrities use social media to try to bring you inside their world. I feel like Dolly was 30 years ahead of her time in letting us in. We knew her nails were fake. We knew her boobs were fake. We knew she wasn't blonde.
She was 100% in on the joke. People asking her, oh my God, Dolly, your hair's so great. How long does it take to get your hair looking like that? I don't know. I'm never there when it's done, was her answer. I mean, it was perfection. She was the master of just leading the way in everything, including being inside the joke before everybody else could, say it to her.
Marcy Braun is with us. She's a country music, a radio executive, runs our station here in Minneapolis, The Wolf. You look at 11 Grammy Awards, 54 nominations, 10 Country Music Association Awards. But it only tells part of the story. You touched on the fact that, she donated $1 million that went to Vanderbilt for the development of the COVID vaccine. Over the years, I believe it's upwards of 350 million books that
Dolly's library, with your library.
The library. Yeah, just sort of, it is a time, and we're going to hear for sure from music royalty, and the president posted about it a couple of minutes ago. But I think your point that we thought she was going to be immortal, and also I'm 51 years old. I think if you are 40 to 60, you're in that wheelhouse where you probably were caught off guard by this, just like I was today.
Absolutely. I was on the phone with a friend of mine. She was calling to check up about something. And I got a text message from one of our general sales managers that said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I know how much you loved her. And I was like, wait, what? Like, I don't know what he's talking about. Like, I thought maybe the text went, because he didn't reference Dolly. And then from that moment, Jason, it was a flood, and it hasn't stopped.
You've met her, Marcy?
I met her once. She was playing at the Chicago Theater, and she came into the station, and it was an early morning show visit. And so she came up through the freight elevator, and I held the studio door for her as she was leaving, and she put her hand on my cheek. And I promise you, this has never happened in my entire life. When she did that, my right knee completely gave out. Like I swear, it was the most amazing and surreal thing. I mean, legitimately touched by it, right? Yeah. I mean, wow. It was just so special, and she was so kind. And I mean, everybody who she had surrounding her, in her management and at her record labels and stuff like that, they all were just as wonderful as her. And it was a group of just, a wonderfully moving piece of humanity, if you will.
Marcy Braun from US 99 in Chicago and The Wolf right here in the Twin Cities. Your favorite Dolly song is?
My favorite Dolly song is, it's tough, but it's Here You Come Again. I don't know. I just...
When I'm about to make it work without you, you look into my eyes and lie.
I know. There's just something about that song. I mean, everybody, you think, oh, Jolene, I Will Always Love You, 9 to 5. But
Great,
there's just
great.
something about Here You Come Again. Like, you know what? I've had it with, and this is what she does. Every song will reach a person for another reason, but this is like the strong Dolly, like, oh, ha, 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 you thought you could come back again? Nope. See you later. Bye.
Well, I know people are going to get a lot of joy tonight kind of playing those songs and taking us back in time. But these songs are shockingly timeless, too. The messages resonate today, maybe more than in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s when they were first coming out. Marcy Braun, thanks for spending some time with us and sharing those memories.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
651-461-9226. Your favorite song. There is something about the memory that takes you back to a time with your family, right? And that's what I was touched by when I was thinking about this today. I do think there's something to the fact that you have somebody who has married the same guy for almost 60 years. He died last year. She dies this year. No real scandal with Dolly Parton that anybody knows of. Is so different from what celebrity is like today. Share your memories. Share your favorite songs. We'll play these songs throughout the show today. Dolly Parton, leaving us in one sense, but she'll be a part of our lives forever. 651-461-9226. Drive Time back in a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
The real estate market right now is a mess. It is a mess. It's Jason for my friend Chris Lindahl. And look, Chris and I were talking the other day about the fact that more and more Minnesotans are signing up for the guaranteed cash offer, who are becoming members of the Big Red Check Club. And you could look at this and be like, well, of course, that's what Lindahl would say. His business, that's what he does. But about 6 months ago, Chris and I were texting, and he's like, there's not going to be a recovery in the real estate market. The mortgage rates aren't going anywhere. The supply of available homes isn't really going anywhere. We're kind of stuck. And sure enough, the data has proven Chris right. So you have a choice. Now, you can still go on the open market, and Chris can help you with that. But if you don't want to deal with the headaches or the stress, right? The phone rings, your realtor's like, you got to get out of there. Somebody wants to take a look at it. That person comes through. Maybe they put in an offer. Maybe you get to the finish line. And they're like, oh, I lost my job. Oh, I don't like the furnace. Oh, I want you to whatever. Chris takes all the stress out of the process. Go to chrislindahl.com. Get the free Smart Seller Guide. See if it makes sense to go with that guaranteed cash offer. If you say yes and you join that Big Red Check Club, I want to hear from you. Let me know how it went. chrislindahl.com.
This state fair season, the best deal isn't on the fairgrounds. It's at Chanhassen Dinner Theaters, where Broadway's best musicals come to life. And here's a winning state fair deal for free dinner when you purchase a ticket for the sizzling blockbuster Guys and Dolls, or on selected dates for Annie. You must order by September 10th, but don't wait. Call the box office or visit chanhassendt.com/fair26 and grab your seats today for Guys and Dolls, closing soon, or Annie, opening in October.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where 24-pack Crayola crayons are just 50 cents?
Staples has folders, notebooks, and pens at great prices.
I'm smiling from ear to ear.
It's the most wonderful time.
Mom, I missed the bus of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples, where school supplies start at just 25 cents. Staples. That was easy. Visit your local Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
Let's make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices. $399 a month. Sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him just because you can.
Oh, the news really hit hard that Dolly Parton died today. The last we really heard from her was in a social media post where she was saying that sort of like her, her intestines and her digestive system, everything was all sort of mixed up and that she was going to be okay. But that was months ago. And the news out today that Dolly Parton died at the age of 80. The president of the United States did post on Truth Social that he is going to lower the American flag for a week starting tonight at 6 p.m. So flags will be at half mast or half staff.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it. For Dolly Parton.
That's appropriate.
I think so, too.
She's a cultural icon. I think that's perfectly appropriate.
I think so, too. And there is, in part, Dan, I think why I'm interested in talking about this more than I think I would a typical sort of cultural icon or American celebrity is the fact that we kind of need this. We kind of need this where you have people all around the spectrum that are feeling this same way. And I do think there is some benefit in having when you can have a common conversation about something. And for me, like the curiosity came for really understanding why. I mean, I was literally bawling in the car listening to her nephew, and we'll play that sound in a minute. But that post when he announced her death was just, it just hit me, man. It really did.
Well, and that was, my surprise today, because you mentioned this when you were talking to Chad, that, I'll send you an email every morning with potential topics. And if there's a celebrity death of some sort, I usually include that in there. And you're usually very not interested in those sorts of things. So when I got the text from you, that's how I found out. You sent me a text saying all Dolly bumpers today as I was driving into work. And I had to then, when I got here and got parked and was safely able to access my phone,
right,
Google, hey, did Dolly Parton just die?
Right,
and clearly that's what had happened, right?
Right.
So that it impacts you this way, of all people, tells me what kind of cultural impact she's had, right? Because it doesn't affect me the same way. I didn't grow up listening to, I'm aware of her. Again, I appreciate her for all the reasons everybody says.
For sure.
It just wasn't a huge part of my life. So it's not like I'm reacting that way. And yet you see so many people having such an emotional reaction to her, her passing that, it tells you, we talked about this, was it last week or the week before, about what kind of legacy you want to leave. And I mentioned specifically about, the people whose lives I'd like to have touched and It isn't about putting names
Right,
or
your
having
name on a building
or a
or-
thing park or whatever like that. But the amount of people whose lives she touched, if you listen to Marcy's story in that first segment, that's it. And she probably did something like that literally millions of times in her life. And to Dolly, it was just an everyday occurrence. And yet to this person, it was everything in this huge memory. That tells you about the quality of a person more than anything they have their name on.
And a texter says, Jason, I feel nothing regarding Dolly. I think it's because she was 80. It was her time. To me, it's different when they're younger, like Prince or Michael or Whitney. And I think that's a totally reasonable reaction, right? For sure. Like 80 is a good run, right? You don't look, it is never great when someone you care about dies. But I do think if you want to, if you want to rank what's worse, like, yeah, it's worse when you feel like you were robbed of time with someone.
Yeah, I mean, that certainly amplifies things.
It amplifies.
But I don't care if you're 180, when somebody who's brought as much light into the world as she did passes.
Yeah.
That's something that's going to affect a lot of people, and appropriately so.
Let's play that little sound from her nephew right now. This is Brian Seaver. And, the official news came out at the same time, a news release from Dolly Parton's PR team at like 1:30 or something like that, and this post on social media at the same time. But Dan, what you just said about the way you want to be remembered, that's what really hit me listening to her nephew.
Hey everyone, my name is Brian Seaver, son of Cassie Parton, and I'm representing the Parton and Owens family today, announcing the passing of my Aunt Dolly Rebecca Parton Dean, sister, sis, Aunt Granny to one generation and Gigi to the next. This video announcement is something Dolly asked of me years ago, before I fully absorbed it as a future reality.
As her head of security for more
than 2 decades, a role my father Larry held before me, I have imagined the heaviness of this moment, but haven't truly felt it until now. It is an honor that is mixed with absolute pride and great sadness. The sadness lies with us, not with Dolly. Dolly has lived in the light and is in the arms of Jesus, surely met by Carl, her parents, and countless others who have watched her and longed for her to meet them in the heavens. I first went on the road with Dolly as a kid, getting a taste of the road life in the early 1980s. Dolly opened doors not just for me, but for her entire family to reach the potential we didn't even know was possible. Dolly also opened doors for generations of singers, songwriters, musicians, and dreamers from every walk of life and across every continent. By her, she never saw a door, and the doors she opened made and changed. My family and I have shared a lifetime of beautiful memories with Dolly. So have you. She has always been on your television, your record player, your CD, and on your phone playlist, becoming an extended part of your family, whether you liked it or not. Our family and the team she has entrusted with her legacy will work diligently to ensure her spirit will live with us forever. Dolly was a farmer, just like her daddy. He farmed the soil, she farmed songs and happiness. Dolly called me and said she wants to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton because after a life wearing heavy rhinestones, she finally deserves to be comfortable and have some rest. Rest in peace, Aunt Dolly, Aunt Granny, Gigi. May God bless Dolly Parton, and may God bless you all. She will always love you.
Ugh, that last part just gets you. She will always love you. Your favorite songs coming in like crazy and lots of memories. Jason Dolly's book program put a children's book into my nephew's hands every month from age 1 to 5 and was instrumental in helping him learn to read. Another texter, I'm crying now. Dolly was an ultimate legend. It's, I don't know, I think there is value to taking these moments where we collectively feel this in a time where I feel like we live in our own little silo. We have our favorite music, our favorite artist, our favorite podcast, our favorite talk shows, whatever. Don't we lose something with that approach to life? Can we can there be a character? Can there be a cultural phenomenon that crosses the lines like Dolly did? I don't know. I don't know that our society can have that anymore. And I mourn that too. I think that's part of the sadness, that this sort of universal appeal, based on talent, yes, but also based on just this humanity and this love for neighbor. It's a very Christian, religious underpinning to her life. I think we forget that. So I mourn that too. We'll play Dolly Parton songs throughout the show today, for sure. We're going to break in a minute. I think the best thing, whenever you lose someone, is figure out, all right, how do we pick up and do good going forward? Make the world better. And I got an idea for you coming up in just a minute. It involves giving blood and a little bit of friendly competition, too. We'll talk about that in just a minute here on Drive Time.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Oh, cripes, there's only one cheese curd left. You take it. No, it's yours. You paid. But you waited in line. I've already had plenty. So
Hey, Cole, can you hear me okay?
Please, take the curd. I couldn't possibly. I insist. So do
Now I gotcha.
Are you guys
Awesome.
going to eat
How we
that?
doing?
Good.
Nothing
Just wanna make
brings
sure we can
people
hear you.
together like the fair. So come on out for a corn dog and swing by for the conversation. See you at the Great Minnesota Get-Together.
Yeah, you'll be on camera just like this.
830 WCCO.
How we doing? Hi, Jason.
Mike Rowe here with a random
He says, hey.
fact.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to direct people, it's just the WCCO Radio YouTube channel that we farm this out on Twitter. And
Whether it's
Facebook
basement
too.
moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor. Call Ground.
And then after the show, probably tomorrow morning,
They're the
Jason
real
will
deal.
cut a
People
clip
are
of it.
trained
you
and
can send that to
certified
me.
to waterproof your basement
Oh.
and stabilize your walls. Innovative Basement
Yes, it has.
Authority.
Hang on, we'll be with you
Now
here. We're going to hit traffic and
Schedule
weather
a
when
free
we get here about 2 minutes.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no daily dosing. It's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
We all have different skills, things that make us unique. And in the Minnesota Army National Guard, we combine all of that for a common mission, serving our home. I'm Sergeant First Class Nick Evian from Forest Lake. We know strength isn't found alone. It comes when all of us fight for the same goal. And when that goal is protecting what matters most, there is nothing stronger. What will you bring to help us build that strength? Go to nationalguard.com/Minnesota to see how you can get started today.
Paid for by the Minnesota Army National Guard. Brought to you by the Minnesota Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you're planning to move to a senior living facility, you know firsthand that the wait lists are long, and when an opening pops up, you should take it right away. If you need to sell your house to make it happen, you're going to need to work quickly. My friends from the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, will make sure that your home sells when you need it to. Steve and Cheryl knew when they got to the top of the list, they needed to be ready. They heard me talking about John on the radio and called the Good Neighbor agent to come up with a plan. It made it so they didn't have to feel rushed and so that the short notice of their move wouldn't leave them stuck paying for 2 homes. When they got the call saying that a spot in a senior living center was open, they knew they had to act. Luckily, they'd already come up with a plan with John. He fired up the marketing system. Interest came in right away. Took him 2 days to find a buyer. That's it for Steve and Cheryl. Their home sold for $5,000 over asking price. They planned ahead. You should too. Curious what your home is worth? Go to Terms and conditions may apply.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Northbound 35W, sluggish into downtown Minneapolis, past Lake Street. Traveling south 35W, get your slowdowns there, 106th Street to Highway 13. Cedar South jammed up, stop and go mix as midway between 494 and Old Shakopee Road. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Washburn McCreevy Funeral Chapels and Cremation Services has been providing compassionate and personalized service for over 160 years. Honor your loved one and ensure your own wishes are met. Call 612-377-2203 or visit washburnmccreevy.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, let's get your CCO forecast brought to you by Washburn McCreevy Funeral, Cremation, and Pre-Planning Services. Here is Chris Schaefer.
Another dry forecast, mainly clear overnight tonight. We'll fall back to about 66. It will be less humid tomorrow with a high around 81. Partly cloudy, a bit breezy. Northwest wind 10 to 15. First couple of days of the fair look fabulous. Sunny, not humid, highs in the low 80s. It does get humid this weekend, perhaps some rain Saturday and Sunday.
80 degrees in Anoka on CCO.
Drive time with DeRusha.
Weird. It was startling. It's a little scary.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Islands in the stream. That is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world. And we rely on each other. From one lover to another.
So many texts from fans of this song. This is my number one. This is my number one. Islands of the Stream, that incredible duet with Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. I think we listened to that song growing up. There was a night a couple of years ago where all of my siblings, my 3 siblings and I, were sitting around the table with my mom and dad and running through the songs that we associate with our childhood, the songs that we remember listening to. And we called them up on Spotify and then sang along. It's pretty good. That was it for us as well. 3:39. Let's talk about a way you can make an impact in the community. You may have heard about the crisis level blood centers are at all around America, including here in the Twin Cities. And I like a little competition, and I'm a homer. So if there is a way that, as a Minnesotan, we can stick it to the Wisconsin Badgers, I am intrigued. Dan Cook, as a Wisconsin Badger alum, would love nothing more than to see his Badgers win this blood competition, which they've won before, Dan Cook. The Gophers have never won, but I think this is our year. Cole Heath is with us via video link up. You can watch this on the YouTube channel, WCCO Radio, on our Facebook page. We're streaming on my X account as well. Cole is with Abbott and has another year of this competition. Hey, Cole.
Hey, Jason, thanks for having me. Yes, the competition and the competitive juices, they are flowing for year 3 of the We Give Blood Drive, and we're excited for this opportunity. Like you said, it's a nationwide competition, coast to coast between all of the Big Ten schools, and we're hoping that the Gophers can take home the title this year and help people save lives and help the University of Minnesota win a $1 million grant from Abbott for student and community health.
So this thing is officially getting underway in a couple of days, but you can give blood tonight, you can give blood tomorrow, and it counts. Explain how this works, because you guys try to keep track of this, right?
Yes, we do. And everyone gets to play a part in this story when they give. So people, if they're driving home or are listening at home right now and are wanting to get back to the community and help support the Gophers as well, they can go to their local blood center. If there's a blood drive around the corner, they can go to do that too. They just need to remember that the official competition starts tomorrow. But if you want to give now, You just need to go give blood, and then
No
remember,
one's going to go just like give blood in 10 minutes, right? You can go tomorrow.
yeah,
Make
I
it a
mean,
point.
come on, let's
It's
start stacking the deck here for the Gophers.
It's all right. You can wait till tomorrow, but like these are, I know, like right in the metro area. It doesn't matter where you give.
No, it doesn't matter where you give. Go to any blood center or blood drive nationwide, but just be sure to go to big10.org/Abbott after you give to log proof of your donation. And that's when it officially goes on the scoreboard for the Big Ten school of your choice, hopefully the University of Minnesota. And then those donations.
Oh, wait a minute. So you could be a Minnesotan. You could be like a Dan Cook, and you could go to your blood center and you could give for the Badgers.
Or you can be an Arizona State Sun Devil like myself and still give for the Badgers. It's a two-way street. Sorry, Dan.
I like that. But you better give for the Gophers. What are you doing giving for the Badgers? We don't want that, Cole.
No. I'm saying everyone should be given for the Gophers.
That's
because,
right.
You know what? It's our year. And the Badgers, they won last year. Nebraska the year before that. I mean, let's get it going. The Twin Cities, they are a great community statewide, and we can help save lives because the need for blood is constant. Every 2 seconds, someone needs a blood donation in this country, and people can give back, not only help save lives, but they can also help with the school of their choice, hopefully the University of Minnesota. And as a thank you while supplies last, if you are able to submit proof of your donation online, not only does that go on the scoreboard for the University of Minnesota, you also get a really cool t-shirt while supplies last as well.
All right. So when you kind of share your proof, how is that like? Do they give you a receipt or something, or how do you prove it?
So when you go to big10.org/Abbott, all the information is there. All the blood centers coming up, blood drives coming up. And then once you submit proof of donation on that website as well, then it starts walking you through those steps of what you need to submit proof.
Got it. All right. Very good. So a texter is asking if pot smokers can give blood. I think that was nice of your wife to text in with that question. But what's the rule on that? Do you know?
Well, everyone should consult their local blood center. Unfortunately,
they have their own rules. I see it. Wait,
field.
Right? This is not your area of expertise.
I'm just here to get people to vote for the Gophers, but if they go and they want to give, thank you for asking how they can give, but just consult with a professional.
Yeah. On the website, it says you have to abstain from injection drug use for at least 3 months before donating. But yes, ask at your blood center. Very specific questions. I mean, why?
You know what? We appreciate the participation.
They want to help. They want to help. It's very good. Look, over the years, this idea, and there is something, especially young people, like trying to teach them, giving blood becomes a tradition. And I think there's real value in getting, especially the college students, but a lot of people out there. You know, Cole, I didn't give blood for the first time, I think, until I was in my 40s. And I was just nervous about it. The needle, and I don't know. And I went and did it, and it was great. It was easy. It was no big deal. But, this idea of having the competitive part of this to build a culture of donating blood and being generous in this area, I think makes a ton of sense.
It really does. And I think a lot of people out there share that fear of the needle. I was one of them, too. I've now given multiple times over the course of the last couple of years of We Give Blood. And once you get in the chair, everyone's different, of course, but speaking from my own experience, once the needle is in, it's kind of easy peasy. And the staff who work the blood drives and blood centers, they're great to make sure you're comfortable as well.
All right. Pretty cool. Just go to big10.org /Abbott/Minnesota or just /Abbott. That gets you to the thing. Almost 250,000 lives saved through donations through the Big Ten schools over the years. Kind of fun as we get ready for football to get going, get that competition, get those juices flowing. Let's get another kind of juice flowing as well. Get that blood going.
Let's do it.
And the winning school gets $1 million, right?
$1 million for student and community health. How cool is that? And
can we bury the lead a little bit? $1 million.
Wisconsin won last year, Nebraska the year before that. It's the Gophers' time. So we appreciate everyone getting out there and helping save lives.
Pretty cool. All right. Thought that'd be a good message to get out today. Cole Heath from Abbott. We appreciate it. Thanks, Cole. It's 3:46.
Thanks, Jason.
Big Ten blood drive starts officially tomorrow. Good stuff. In a minute, A story in the New York Times today that made me feel about 172 years old. Dating terms that you need to know. And also, is the New York Times just making stuff up now to fill their website? We'll talk about it in just a minute on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Culligan Hydration Station. I want you to put it on your list. It's Jason here. For my friends at Culligan Water, I'm a Culligan guy. We've got Culligan reverse osmosis system at our home. We've got a Culligan whole home water softener. And when I go to the State Fair, I straight up love this Culligan Water Hydration Station. Free water, free cold water at the State Fair. Can you beat it? For something not on a stick, it's pretty awesome. When you go to the Culligan Hydration Station to fill up your water bottle, you can bring your water bottle from home, bring it into the fair. They'll let you bring it in and you can fill those water bottles. While you're there, go talk with one of the Culligan experts because right now they have incredible deals. And they tell me every year the number of appointments and the number of water softeners they sell is through the roof. It's because the deals are so good. You could save up to $500 on qualifying Culligan products. You get a water softener, boom, $200 off. You get the RO drinking water system. I love mine. I love it. $100 off. Get them both. You're getting an extra $200 off. Pretty good stuff, right? Rent a Culligan water softener or drinking water system for $90 for 90 days with basic install for just $90. $90.90. Excellent deals. State Fair gets hot. Nothing cooler than free water at the Culligan Hydration Station. See it at the intersection of Cosgrove Street and Dan Patch Avenue. The offers are limited time, so see your dealer for details.
All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
So when do you need to start thinking about a will? Find out at gutmanlaw.com. What is a living trust, and do you need this? Find out at gutmanlaw.com. What about a power of attorney or probate? We'll get all the answers to your questions when you schedule a free attorney consultation at, gutmanlaw.com. It's Jordana. And I didn't know the first thing about wills, living trusts, estate planning, but I didn't need to. All I did was reach out to my friend Matt Gutman and his partner Jamie Reff Wagner. This is their focus. Wills, trust, probate, estate plans. Now knowing that my loved ones will be taken care of no matter what helps me sleep at night. Don't wait until it's too late to get these things taken care of. You can schedule a free, no-hassle consultation right on the website. Say it with me, gutmanlaw.com. Gutmanlaw.com, giving you peace of mind today for tomorrow. It's not just a slogan. I sleep better at night now that I have my estate plan in place. Thanks to Matt Gutman and Jamie.
Cozy season is ahead, and you'll be spending way more time inside. Is your home ready? Don't worry. With Wayfair, you can upgrade your space without breaking the bank. Score up to 70% off during their Labor Day clearance on furniture, area rugs, mattresses, and more. Plus, surprise flash deals you can't miss. Whether it's one room or the whole house, Wayfair has pieces for every style and budget.
Shop Wayfair's Labor Day clearance now through September 7th at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And watching the slowdowns as you travel south 169, 494, all the way down to the Minnesota River Bridge. Southbound 35W jammed up as make way through Bloomington, heading down to Highway 13. And Cedar South still congested. Stop and go stuff continues, 494 as you head down to Highway 13. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. Serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
JTR, roofing and siding, that's who we are.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast from JTR Roofing. Tonight, mainly clear. Low is 66. Tomorrow looks good. 81. Thursday, even better. More sun. Less humid. First day of the fair, 81. Average high is 79. We've dipped below 80 for the average high.
You know what else is Thursday?
What's Thursday?
I mean, yeah, it started the fair, whatever.
There's something.
The lunar eclipse is Thursday night, Jason.
Okay.
You got to have clear skies for the lunar eclipse. Come on, man.
Oh, thank goodness.
Come on, man.
Thank goodness. Right now, it's 81 on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
My coat of many colors that my mama made for me, made only from rags, but I wore it so proudly.
If there's one Dolly Parton song that I think you guys should listen to tonight, it's this one. Because
coat of many colors my mama made for me.
This became a children's book. This story is vintage Dolly. Real talk, rags to riches, humanity, love, differences between people, all welcomed and celebrated out of love for your neighbor. Great song. That wasn't helping me when I was trying to stop crying in the car today with that news that Dolly Parton has died at the age of 80. Dan, we have a little breaking Minnesota Vikings news. Lay it on me.
Yeah, the NFL has decided that Jashawn Jones of the Minnesota Vikings is suspended for the club's first 3 regular season games without pay for violating the NFL's substances of abuse policy. So
classic, right? If you don't have a Minnesota Vikings player getting suspended for some sort of screw up.
Somebody's in trouble for something. We thought that the big Vikings trouble was going to be the connection to the Diana Rossini story.
Right.
In the offseason, but no, it's going to be this.
All right. We don't really know. We don't know exactly what he did, right?
Nope.
At this point, we didn't know if he was going to make the cut anyway, down to the final 53.
I think this might factor into that a little bit.
Oh, not looking great. He'll be able to play in the preseason finale before the suspension takes effect. Wouldn't that be the move? Like, make him play and then be like, see you later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
bum.
After the final whistle, see the coach in the office with their playbook, please.
Twins Ticket Tuesday in effect today, as it is every Tuesday here on CCO Radio. So we are giving away tickets. Dan, I have no idea what we're giving these tickets away for.
We're giving away a 4-pack of tickets
White Sox?
for this Saturday. That's right, against the White Sox. It's a crucial division series, Saturday afternoon. It's an afternoon game.
I was going to go Friday. I was thinking of going after the fair Friday night.
Any of these games would be great.
Fireworks, I think, Friday night.
First 10,000 fans on Saturday receive an Unreal Twins cap.
Oh, that's a sick hat, too.
Yep.
You know I love Unreal, the Minnesota. It's that UNRL, that Minnesota company. Cool stuff. First 10,000. Do you ever want to give away bad enough to be in line that early, though?
Well, no, being as media members, I just go to the press box and they just give you one. So
do they just give you one there?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Must be nice.
That's not bad.
Be one of the chosen people. You get.
Don't call now. Don't call now.
When you hear the thing.
When you hear the Win Twin sounder.
We thank.
Caller number 3 gets those tickets. And yes, we thank Luther Kia of Bloomington for coming through on Twins Ticket Tuesday.
Very nice. New York Times today had a story about dating terms, and they had a quiz. And I love a quiz. You give me an interactive quiz. So I'm looking at this thing and going through it with Seth, the 21-year-old, because I don't know what's up, you know. Are you fluent in the latest dating lingo? Says the headline. Dan, did you take this quiz or did you just send me this article?
I sent it to you because I knew you'd enjoy it.
Do you consider yourself fluent in the latest dating lingo?
I definitely do not.
Do you know what ghosting is?
Yes.
What is it called when the person who ghosted you suddenly reaches out and acts like nothing happened? There's a term for that. It is
zombieing.
Zombieing. That is the only thing worse than a ghost in dating. All right, fine. Do you know what an orange flag is? Like, I know what a red flag is.
Right. So you'd assume that an orange flag just is something not quite as bad as a red flag.
What about a beige flag or a pink flag?
I don't know. It seems like a lot of colors to keep track of.
Why do we need so many flags? Why do people have to make dating so complicated? Why do we need a term for everything? We need a flag for this, a term for that. We got phubbing, we got zombieing, we've got cash fishing, we got wildflowering, we got DTR. There's orbiting, there's cushioning, there's cookie jarring, there's breadcrumbing, kitten fishing, cat fishing, chat fishing, goblin intimacy, goblintimacy. Someone in search of chalance. There's pocketing, there's shrekking, there's loyal maxing.
Seems like a lot.
If my wife ever leaves me, I'm staying just absolutely celibate and solitary for the rest of my life. You guys have ruined dating with all your damn words. Continental Diamond says, just give a diamond ring and shut up with all the terms.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Minnesota State Fair is almost here, and at By the Yard, it's our favorite time of the year. We love seeing you swapping patio stories and sharing what's new. For 30 years, we've brought premium, maintenance-free furniture built to last right here in Minnesota. This year, explore fresh designs and new rich wood grain colors. Visit us at the fair or get a sneak peek at our showrooms in Woodbury, Maple Grove, or Jordan. With By the Yard, life is better outdoors.
Let's make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices. $399 a month. Sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Everyone worth hearing, everything worth knowing. News Talk 830 WCCO. 1029 HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Tributes are coming in following the death of Dolly Parton today. The country music legend was known for her lilting voice and soulful writing, including hits Jolene and also I Will Always Love You. Parton turned to acting, starring in 9 to 5, and expanded her empire to support charities. In 2023, ABC's Lindsay Davis sat down with Dolly and asked her about how she'd like to be remembered.
You ever think about what you'd want your legacy to be?
There's a lot of wonderful things that's happened to me. I think one of the things I'm proudest of is the Imagination Library. But of course, I'm a writer and a singer, and I'm in both Songwriter Hall of Fame, you know, the big one, the country music, and the other one up there with the big guys. I'm just trying to leave as much stuff. I just want to see how much I can do in a lifetime. And I've been blessed, and I've been lucky, and I don't take any of that for granted, but I just wanted to be remembered well.
And Dolly Parton was 80. The U.S. and Canada digging in on tariffs. Canada says it will match tariffs on U.S. goods starting September 8th. And in response to the U.S. 50% tariffs on Canadian imports in effect. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze on what it could cost Americans.
We just got a new estimate from the Yale Budget Lab. They say that in total, all of the tariffs, including the 50% tariffs on Canadian imports that the U.S. put in place, will cost the typical American household $1,100 per year. That is a notable number when you're thinking about the fact that households are already paying higher costs because of persistently high inflation on other goods and services.
Pennsylvania's health department says 2 people have died from measles, the first measles death in the state in 35 years. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro.
Both of the individuals were from Lancaster County, and both were unvaccinated. We hope and we pray that those deaths will be the last.
CDC shows a record number of measles cases nationally for a second straight year. You're listening to ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Cloudy skies, 79 degrees at 4:02. Good afternoon. I'm Susie Jones. We are following a developing story out of Texas this afternoon involving an ICE agent who is wanted in Minnesota on assault charges.
Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison has just released a statement on his effort to get Christian Castro extradited from Texas to Minnesota. Castro has been charged in Hennepin County with shooting an immigrant in Minneapolis during Operation Metro Search. He was picked up and arrested on May 29th, and Texas law only allows fugitives to be held in custody for 90 days before they must be released. But Texas Governor Greg Abbott refused. Ellison says that Abbott has no discretion in the case and has said that if Abbott doesn't allow the extradition, Minnesota will suffer irreparable harm if Castro is set free. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830, WCCO.
Far-right extremist Jake Lang will not be charged with a felony after being arrested for attempting to incite a riot. Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty said today his conduct on Saturday is despicable and disgusting, and she says the fact that a felony was not leveled does not condone his behavior in any way. Twin Cities-based Target Corporation is being singled out by American Federation of Teachers, claiming the corporation has yet to publicly denounce Operation Metro Surge and ICE. The union is calling on all shoppers to boycott Target and shop for back-to-school supplies somewhere else. President of ATF, Randy Wagner-Garten, spoke to WCCO's Adam and Jordana about their months-long attempt to get Target to stand up for the community.
This was something that has been long simmering, and all Target had to do was to say, we stand with our neighbors and not with ICE, and they wouldn't do it. And so we said that in back to school, we're going to stand locally and we're going to shop other places.
The parents of Alex Preddy, the 37-year-old nurse killed by a federal agent in Minnesota in January of this year, speaking out on ABC News Good Morning America. Here are Michael and Susan Preddy.
We watched it on TV and it was like, that's our son. That's Alex. And they killed him. No one called us. No one.
we still haven't heard from him.
Yeah, that's how we found out.
A day of remembrance and service is planned this Thursday in Minneapolis to honor those affected by the Annunciation mass shooting. It'll be held at Pearl Park from 1 to 5. Organizers say they'll be handing out care kits for young people experiencing homelessness, and school supplies will be handed out to students in Minneapolis. And community members are also going to be able to let folks plant flowers and trees. WCCO News Time is 4:05.
Flint Hills Resources Pine Bend Refinery in Rosemont produces important transportation fuels used throughout the Midwest, but they're also active in the community. They support many programs and organizations that make Minnesota better. Go to FHR.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Got some slow traffic along 169, traffic at Bay brought by Flint Hills Resources. 169 jammed up between Rockford Road and Brooklyn Boulevard in both directions, so get ready for that. West 94 slows as make way toward Hemlock Lane, heading up to Weaver Lake Road. Over on the East Metro, South 35 East, still a slow ride, Victoria Street to Highway 13. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Don't even think about putting your clubs away this offseason. Fall leagues are back and better than ever at Launchpad Golf in Prior Lake. More options, bigger prizes, weekly challenges to feed your whole team. Learn more, sign up today while spots last at launchpadgolf.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Launchpad. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
It stays mild overnight tonight, but the sky clears out, dropping back to 66. Tomorrow, pretty close to average. Partly cloudy, 81. A bit of a breeze behind that cold front. Northwest wind, 10 to 15 miles per hour. How about the first day of the state fair? Glorious. Sunny with a high of 81.
Right now, cloudy and 79 degrees at News Talk 830 WCCO.
We'd like to think of it more as the Great Minnesota Talk Together. Make plans now to come see us at the fair. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
Well, Target sure stepped in it, didn't it? And I'm not talking about the boycott that you just heard in the news from Susie. We talked about that yesterday. And let me tell you, Target, I'm sick and tired of defending you and then to have some news story come up 2 seconds later that makes me look like a ding-dong. It's Drive Time. Welcome in. Sharing your Dolly Parton memories, your thoughts, your reflections throughout the show and playing some of her most impactful songs. We'll do that throughout the next couple of hours. So keep that coming at 651-461-9226. You can send us a voice message, too, if you want to share what Dolly Parton meant to you. You can use that on the Odyssey app right next to where you listen live. Send us a message. I'd like to send Target a message. Get your crap together. What is happening over there that they continue to step in it time and time again? The question I think it is reasonable to wrestle with is the allegation that our friend, our colleague, Shaletta Brundage, has made here, has made on local television, has made on national news. I saw her quoted in a Sophie Flay story on ABC News. Is Target racist? Shaletta came out saying Target is racist. I think that is ridiculous. But I do think they have major problems. And this costume being pulled from the shelves, to me, the questions are more about who's in the room. Who's in the room when products are being approved, because if Dan Cook had like Dan Cook's ketchup and Dan was trying to get Dan Cook's ketchup on the shelves of Target, you would have to go through dozens of meetings with muckety mucks to make sure, well, this packaging has to be right and the price has to be right and the copy has to be right and the messaging has to be right. So if you missed the latest outrage against Target, the costume, it's a weird one, okay? And now I know, like, here come people saying, well, who wants whatever white Jason DeRusha thinks about this? And what I would say to that is get out of here with that stupidity. No. Anybody can have an opinion on this stuff. Nobody gets more like, oh, you get more street cred in this area. Target admitted that they screwed up. But to me, that doesn't really answer the structural question as to what is going on over there. Target, in a statement with this costume, said, we got this wrong. As a company, we know we got this wrong, and we are deeply sorry. The costume is offensive and should never have been part of our assortment. Let me describe the costume, because I don't know that the costume itself is, to me, offensive. The costume was listed as the Kids Glows Under Black Light Circus Clown Halloween Costume Bodysuit. It was from a Target-owned brand, so it came in-house. It was done in-house. The costume is orange and black. It's like leggings, an oversized, I don't know, it's sort of like would you describe that, Dan, as like a Charlie Brown
style.
Yeah, that zigzag pattern.
The
that you'd see.
zigzag
Yeah.
pattern.
Yeah.
And a little top hat. And in the hood that you put on over the top, there's like a smile, a big oversized smile. Now, when you look at this image, the promotional image for this, it's a black child wearing the costume. So I have a lot of questions about this that we'll never get an answer to, right? Because Target's never how can they defend themselves and win in this case? They can't. To me, if there was a photo shoot here with a black kid doing like a minstrel show kind of cha-cha little expression, how did no one in the room say like, nah, I don't know about that? What if we put that costume on a white kid? If the costume's on a white kid, I don't think, is this a scandal? Because I don't know that the costume itself is the problem. For me, I don't see that. And I certainly could understand where a group full of, marketing people is like, well, it's just, I don't know. It's just like, now when you see this image though, it's impossible to me to think someone didn't see that and say like, I don't know about that. Unless everybody in the room is white, everybody in the room is under 30 and doesn't know jack about the history of like a minstrel show, Jim Crow. Like that is where you get the question you say, is Target racist? For me, no. Are there some structural issues in their hiring? Maybe. Part of and again, I'm making stuff up because who knows? Target's never going to tell us what the deal is. To me, you know what this looks like? AI. My guess is there wasn't ever a photo shoot. My guess is there were never a bunch of people in a room to say yes or no on that costume. My guess is that in this world where every company is expecting people to do more and more and more with less and less and less, I just wonder, was this an AI? You go into the thing, you're like, here's the costume, make an image, and AI made that image, and some programmer just put it up, and that was that. I do think these are and I guess part of me thinks it's more reasonable to think that AI is racist than thinking Target Corporation is racist.
It's certainly a possibility.
But is that costume to you, if you didn't see it?
Well, the trouble is, even if you put a white kid in that costume, like the way that you're putting up against the other picture right now
this
online,
image, right? The image that's been circulating that people have probably seen on Instagram.
Then even with a white kid in it, I no, that's a no.
You would never make that association. You would just say that's a weird costume.
I wouldn't make that association.
Right.
But it's entirely possible that one of my black brothers and sisters would still make that association with that. And if they did, and they said something about it, then immediately Target has to take that down.
Of course. And I think they would.
So I think to your point, it's the combo platter, right? It's the fact that you have that costume, which is perhaps mildly problematic, but as soon as you put a black kid in it, it becomes really problematic.
Absolutely.
But it may still be a problem all on its own.
Maybe.
Either way, that picture can't be put out there for a major corporation. It just can't. And whether it's AI, like you say, which this brings up a whole other topic, right? About people double checking AI's work because nobody seems to want to do that anymore, even though we know AI does stupid stuff all the time. But everybody just thinks you can AI something and then just put it out there without actually, I don't know, double checking or fact checking or taking a look at it. But to your bigger point, any corporation has leaks, right? I mean, when you're dealing with a bureaucracy, when you're dealing with a structured hierarchy, stuff slips through the cracks. That happens all the time. But one of the things you do as a corporation to try and do that is make sure you have different perspectives and different voices and different lived experiences looking at different things to try and minimize that as much as possible. And given what Target has just announced, a year and a half ago about rolling back DEI initiatives, you do have to wonder, do they have the right people in the right spots?
And I think that's
with
fair.
the right eyeball. I think that's absolutely fair to
the
question. Yeah.
And I do think, and like, I get it. Like, Shaletta's passion on this issue goes deeper than this one incident. This goes back to rolling back DEI. This goes back to whether or not Target made its lived up to its commitment after the murder of George Floyd to invest in Black-owned media organizations, of which Shaletta owns one. And so I do not blame her for her emotional reaction on this. And maybe she's right. I don't know. To me, the real question is, how are things like this getting approved? Do you have enough levels of approval? And at a certain point, you got to look around the room. And I know in this focus on diversity, the focus has been on racial diversity. And a company like Target, if you think Target is made up of a bunch of right-wing people that are racist, I would invite you to go visit Target headquarters, because Target is made up of 20 to 35-year-old urban-dwelling Minneapolis residents. Like, let's be serious. I do think there's a youth problem, that you need some people with a wider lens of history, maybe. Now, Joe says, look at the smile on the costume mask. Compare it to magazine articles from the 1890s where black folks are portrayed as monkeys. And then get back to us with the Jason take. And I would say, if you are looking for that comparison, yes. Is it? Now, personally, I just think it's a dumb costume. Like, I don't understand why but you're trying to make you can see where a designer's like, all right, I'm trying to make an easy costume. It's Target. You can show up. The kid just puts it on. It's a full costume. Oh, it's like the mask is right in the shirt. Oh, and so to make that mask stay, maybe you got to do this big old smile. That's funny.
It's the combo of the smile and the little hat. That's the big problem.
That's saying if you get a room full of under 30 white and black people, do they know? Do they have that visceral reaction? I think
white people under 30, I wouldn't think so. No, I can't speak to what a black person under 30. I don't know what their lived experience would be. That's what I'm saying. I mean, they could be brought up in a way that they know. We have this idea
that if you get more black people in the room, then that's going to solve this problem. I don't know that that's true. I think our focus on diversity, on only being about race, you need some older people in the room. You need some right-wingers. You need some left-wingers. And for God's sake, Target, you need, like, at the network news, you have a standards and practices division that before any script gets approved, it goes through them. At Target, isn't there somebody looking at this stuff? And maybe someone looked at the drawing and said, yeah, that costume looks fine. Texter says, look at it without race. That's how most of us minorities think about it. Just have fun and quit listening to the small, loud minority that's offended about everything. I don't think this is that case. Target admitted that it was offensive. It is offensive. You look at that kid in that costume, and why would you sell a costume that would look offensive if black kids are wearing it? What are you doing? I don't know. It's just disappointing. Disappointing. Keep your thoughts coming. 651-461-9226. Twins Ticket Tuesday. We're giving away free tickets. Have some fun this weekend at the Twins game Saturday night. Listen for the sounder and be caller 3 on CCO.
Drive time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Let's make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices, $399 a month, sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Your mortgage is probably your biggest bill each month. Imagine having to pay it twice. It can happen if you buy a new home before you sell your current one. You need a real estate agent who knows how to find buyers fast. My friends from the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, know how to get the job done. Nate and Keisha were worried after their house sat on the market for more than half a year with a different agent. They had bought a new home before their previous one sold, and they felt stuck. They've been hearing me tell you about the Good Neighbor agent and knew they had to call John themselves. John's marketing system reaches thousands of potential home buyers every day. It helps him routinely sell houses fast and for the most money possible. John's marketing system found them a buyer in just a week. It sold for full asking price. They were so happy. Curious what your home is worth? Just type in your address, johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
Fundamentally, a non-traditional approach to talking about, learning about, and exploring the day's news.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Barely getting by. It's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive.
It just makes you smile, doesn't it? 9 to 5. How many people are going to go back and watch that movie again over the next couple of days? I wonder how it holds up. I don't know. We're talking about Target. And by the way, if you haven't heard Adam and Jordana's conversation with Randy Weingarten, the head of the teachers union, on the topic we talked about yesterday, all of that available on podcast. So you can find that interview at the Adam and Jordana podcast. You can find our conversation from yesterday about the teachers union boycott, which I spoke out strongly against, immediately to be followed up with this story about Target and the costume. I gave a full-throated defense, Dan, saying how I think the teachers union protesting Target for not speaking out against ICE was ridiculous. But you can find that in the YouTube channel under videos. You can find that in the Drive Time with DeRusha podcast as well. Lots of text coming in on Target's latest embarrassment, unforced error, I would say, where freaking out about Target being racist to me isn't the question. The question is, are the people running this company, are they living in 2026? Do they understand that the world we're in, if you put one product on your shelf that is offensive, you are going to get blasted for it? If you made that product, then you're going to get deservedly blasted for it. And I do think the criticism of Target, while for me is, this is our world we're in right now. You always take things 7 or 8 steps beyond in your criticism. I do think they deserve the heat for this. Because how do you approve this? Texters, do we know where this design came from? Was it from the U.S. or was it maybe from China that's on the employees in that committee who is in charge of that selection? It was a Target-owned brand, but we don't know. I don't know where their designers are, and that's a fair question. Another texter, Target's majority non-Caucasian. I don't know if that's true. I mean, maybe Target is a corporation if you're counting every person working in every one of these 2,000 stores around the country. But the design, come on. Like, I work downtown Minneapolis. I can pick out a Target employee from 3 blocks away. And they are not majority non-Caucasian. Dumb Target. Kids looks like a small Al Jolson in pose and hat. Poor underwriting, says a texter. Another texter says, I'm 28. I'm white, and I have no idea what you're talking about with the problem with this. I do understand blackface is not okay. So I would say, and I've seen some criticism of this costume, Dan, where people have been saying, it's sort of like blackface. To me, that's not it. It's this minstrel show bit.
If the rest of the costume, say neck down, was pure orange or various shades of orange or different, I'm saying black is the dominant color of the entire costume. So if it was just the hood that was black with the teeth and the hat, then blackface I think could be a thing.
Yeah.
But given that it's a predominant color of the entire
you have a lot of
costume,
orange and a lot of black.
Yeah,
and
I don't necessarily see that.
The gloves,
like you say, that especially
hat.
With the pose.
It's the pose.
I mean,
that's why I think it's AI. That I think you put this costume into AI, and instead of a photo shoot with a model and a bit, I don't know. I could be wrong. Let's go to Jonathan, who's at 651-461-9226. Jonathan, what do you make of all this?
Pooey kapooey.
Oh, say that again, Dan, because it sounded like it was good, but we didn't have you punched
I
up.
was so proud of having his theme ready to go. I actually forgot to put him on the air. It was the only problem.
It's a bunch of hooey kapooey. No.
All right, tell me more. Why do you think it's hooey kapooey?
Okay, first off, when I was growing up in my generation, the only 2 costumes that we ever had from Target or from Walmart was Sexy Kitty or Serial Killer.
Yeah.
So stop making a big deal out of freaking everything. I'm so over it. Let kids be kids. Let parents go out and dress up with whatever the heck they want to do. Eat the candy that your mom told you you're not supposed to eat until they inspect it, because you're going to sit there and eat the whole bag of candy that your kids are going to get.
You don't think Target deserves any criticism for this costume?
Okay, I love Shaletta.
Me
and
too.
Please don't yell at me, Shaletta, because we're friends, and I've seen her at Beyonce, and I can tell you, she might be overreacting just a tad bit. And being over the age of 57, I can tell you, there are more things to worry about than kids' costumes. Walking down the street, going for coffee with your friends. Believe me, I don't know what to say on this topic, but I can tell you right now, you're not going to get me to wear that ugly ass costume. I'm sorry.
It actually is an interesting point. Jonathan, I thank you for calling it. I thank you for making that point, because so look, everything ends up being at about the same volume level, right? If it's a minor problem, if it's this frustrates me because it indicates what we've been talking about before. I think that's why this is an issue for Target. Jonathan is right. One costume, look, Target sells hundreds of thousands of things. Who cares? But it's because it is indicative of this sense that people have had. And I've pushed back on it, but it's this sense that as a company, Target has turned its back on what it said it believed in. And it's leaving Black people and gay people behind. And while I don't agree with that narrative, when you do something like this, it does make you think, gosh, maybe there is a point. Maybe they do have a point on this. And then you analyze it and you're like, well, that's probably not quite how this came about. But as a company, what you need to do is protect yourself from these things. Target ran into all sorts of problems because they put one bathing suit as part of their gay pride collection. One item. And they know the danger. And there's a lot of people over there working on it. Let's break. Let's talk about the State Fair. Coming up today's Tuesday. We're 2 days away. And there is a family that has an opportunity I think a lot of us would dream of. The chance to open a new venue at the State Fairgrounds. I don't know how they had 10 minutes to talk to us 2 days before the State Fair, but we're going to talk with one of the new vendors in just a minute right here on Drive Time.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
We're gonna win, Twins, we're gonna score.
Okay, come on, you gotta keep up. Headlines, the markets, weather, politics, sports news. Let's go!
I just checked the news 20 minutes ago.
20 minutes? That's basically a week in news time. Drop and give me 10 push notifications.
I can't feel my brain.
The news never skips leg day.
Staying in shape takes work. Staying informed shouldn't. CCO brings you the very latest on what's happening, so you can stay informed without breaking a sweat.
So, no burpees?
Nah, but you do need to lunge for the radio. Come on!
News Talk 830 WCCO.
Chad here talking once again about Pella Windows and Doors, PellaNorthland.com. 2 homes for me the last 20 years. Moved recently out of the last one. Both with Pella Windows and Doors. What a superior company. Showrooms, Brooklyn Park, Woodbury, Plymouth. Check it out. A great offer in August. 0% APR for 72 months or 20% off your Pella project. I trust them 100%. PellaNorthland.com.
The U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America is bringing you free concerts across the Twin Cities August 27th through September 1st, featuring the Air Force's Jazz Ensemble. For locations, visit afbandtix.org. That's afbandtix.org.
Curtis James of Bear Market Financial Services.
A true financial advisor is not just a wealth manager. It's not picking the right stocks, but truly building a retirement plan to have fun, to do the things you want to do, and then most importantly is relieve that stress to help you navigate this important chapter of your lives.
Making retirement easier on Retirement Simplified with Curtis James, Sunday evenings at 6 on WCCO.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Upgrade your tool storage this fall with help from Menards and save big money. For heavy-duty storage that protects your tools, choose Master Force. From shelving units to garage cabinets and so much more, you can keep your tools safe and within reach. Get versatile and durable storage products from Master Force today. Check out Master Force products in-store and on Menards.com. Plus, view our weekly flyer for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
All too often, you're lucky if what you see is what you get. But in the Lexus ES, every detail leads to so much more. Light playing off intricate panels, seats that cradle you.
Hey, Joe and
Space
Alyssa,
you
it's
want to
Dan
relax
back in the studio.
into.
Looks like you guys got
Doesn't
yourself
hear, the
muted.
more
All
you
right, you
look,
just unmuted.
the more
You
you'll
hear us
find
okay?
the
It's so windy,
fully
right?
redesigned
Trying to
Lexus ES.
cut
Totally
down
get
on the
that.
blowing.
No, you're good. You're totally good.
Because
You're
the
hearing us
greatest
all right?
measure of a vehicle
Yes.
is how it
Very
makes
good.
you feel.
All right, we're going to
See
be back
Lexus
from the
at
break
White
here
Side
probably in
and
about 2
Lexus will
minutes,
make
and we'll have you on. Okay?
Sounds
hybrid
good.
coming summer
Thank you again for
2026.
making time for us.
Love it.
When it came to protecting the WCCO radio building, we wanted to find a team we could trust. We tried other companies before, but the issue kept coming back. Then we called Valor Pest Solutions. Shane and his team came out, did a thorough inspection, and put together a plan that kept us covered ever since. No shortcuts, no guesswork, just real expertise and results you can count on. That's why WCCO stands behind Valor Pest Solutions. Because when other companies came up short, they got it right.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Got some slowdowns on 694 eastbound, making way between 35W and Rice Street. Southern Highway 36 eastbound. Got some congestion there as you make the run between Highway 280 heading out towards Snelling Avenue. Speaking of 280, that's wide open, but there is some slowdowns on the southbound side. University heading down to 94. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Chanhassen Dinner Theater has a Blue Ribbon State Fair deal for free dinner with a ticket purchase for Guys and Dolls or Annie. Call the box office and ask for Fair 26. Some restrictions apply, and you must order by September 10th. So hop off the Ferris wheel and grab your seats today.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Chanhassen Dinner Theater, Guys and Dolls, bringing us the weather forecast. Here is Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Another dry forecast, mainly clear overnight tonight. We'll fall back to about 66. It will be less humid tomorrow with a high around 81. Partly cloudy, a bit breezy. Northwest wind 10 to 15. First couple of days of the fair look fabulous. Sunny, not humid, highs in the low 80s. It does get humid this weekend, perhaps some rain Saturday and Sunday.
Just texted my wife, dinner at the Minneapolis Club tonight. Yes, we're members. We're loving the dinner on the patio. You can go to Charlie's any weeknight when they're open. Make a reservation at minneapolisclub.com or just show up. You don't have to be a member. You can enjoy that beautiful bar and beautiful restaurant. Right now at the Minneapolis Club, the current temperature is 80 degrees on CCO.
Your daily detour into sharper conversation. Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
DeRusha, he has the eats.
Nobody brings you the Twin Cities restaurant scene like your favorite foodie. Now, Jason explores some of the great chefs, owners, and stories right in our own backyard. Drive Time now transitions into DeRusha Eats.
It is crunch time for the Minnesota State Fair. For a lot of us, we're remembering to go online or go to Cub and buy our discount tickets before we get out to the State Fair. But to Joe and Alyssa Zimmerley, this is really crunch time to get that booth fully ready, get the staff fully trained because they have a brand new location, a brand new building. It is called Summer Lakes. Summer Lakes Beverage is the name of their company. But the Summer Lakes Boathouse is a new part of the State Fair. And Joe and Alyssa join us live from the fair. I see the giant Ferris wheel in the background, and they're with us on our YouTube. What a great shot, Joe. You could be hired to do TV work here. This is very nice.
I'm going to give the credit to her. She's like, make sure you get this in the background. I just execute. That's all I do.
We just got set up yesterday.
Alyssa, tell us how things are going. The fair starts in 2 days, and you have a not just a brand new menu and a brand new experience at the fair, but you have a literal new building as well, right?
We do. Things are going great. It's kind of crunch time right now. It's very hustle bustle on the fairgrounds. There's cars and trucks and vans and semis bringing everything in, and we are so excited. So we're not brand new to the fair. We've actually been in the fair for about 5 years, but this is a new spot for us with a new building, a new menu, live music, all the things. We're very, very excited.
Tell us how you got accepted and how you got this opportunity to expand your presence, because originally you were really just doing drinks, right?
Yeah, we were a 20 by 20 tent kind of a thing. So this is a big jump. Yeah, for sure, Jason. It's been really cool, big process here. You have to work for it. I will put it that way. Short and sweet. Lots of proposals kind of thing going on. We had to put together architecture drawings and the whole bit. Concept menu, concept theme, do your homework and prove yourself. That is the recipe for success in getting to where we are today, for sure.
What is the vision, Alyssa, of this new venue because of the beach house? Or
Yes.
the boat.
So
I'm sorry, it's the boathouse, right? The boathouse.
the boathouse. So we are in Minnesota, and the best things about Minnesota are summer and the lakes. So we are full of lake vibes at the Summer Lakes Boathouse. We want people to come and enjoy and eat good food and listen to good music and drink good drinks and just live the lake life at the state fair.
Makes sense, right? When you think about Minnesota, the lake life is part of our summer experience that never really has been celebrated at the state fair.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we love the concept. The building is gorgeous. Come and enjoy and relax and live that lake life with us.
All right, how did you guys meet? What is your Minnesota story, Joe and Alyssa?
Alyssa and I met like every hardworking couple maybe at work. I was a sous chef in the kitchen, not quite executive. So this is back in the day. We are celebrating the big 20 years together.
Wow.
Marriage. Thank you for that.
Congrats.
Yeah, we met at Jack's Cafe in Northeast Minneapolis. Alyssa was front of house. I was back of the house. And yeah, it's been, we love to entertain people. We always have. So we connected right away on that. We love to travel. We love Minnesota. We love lake life. And then, when we decided to move forward with this whole venture and put our hat in, we knew it was something we wanted to do together. And that's important.
A little cliche, Alyssa, being the front of house person attracted to the sexy cook in the back of house, right?
Feels maybe a little the other way around, but,
Oh, you made the move? Who made the first move there?
That was this guy right here for sure.
No, he had a way with a steak. I
Well,
mean,
and he can cook. So
right?
Mm-hmm.
Jack's Cafe is an absolute legend. What a great spot to have the foundation of your story. You think of how many love stories have been celebrated at that place. I have a fair number of matchbooks commemorating different occasions at Jack's. And for you guys, what's it mean to be sort of graduating to this next level at the Minnesota State Fair?
It feels amazing. I think it's really a dream come true for us. When we started our company, I said I want to be in the state fair, and that was just something that we didn't know if it would happen, and then it did, and then we just have kept growing since then. And I tell you, the people at the state fair are special people. We have been welcomed with open arms. People have been willing to help and talk us through things and offer advice, and it has just been a really wonderful experience so far.
You had to figure out a menu, right? Because the original, and we just showed on our live stream, the original like little tent, the beverage operation, and you were known for like your bootlegs and your cocktail mixes and your NA mixes and different things like that. But when it came time to figure out, like, all right, what are we going to put on a food menu? How does that go? Do you have to get it all approved by the fair? Did you guys test this out in the off season? How do you even begin that sort of process?
Great question. Short answer again is yes. The state fair, approval may be a stretch of the term, but it's all based into the concept that it's all kind of baked in, no pun intended, to the concept that you're proposing to the state fair. And there's a number of factors, as you can imagine, that gets you into an experience like this. But the menu, what you're going to prepare, and different dishes and things like that, that all goes into it as well. And Alyssa and I, honestly, we just, took a step back, did some homework, obviously, see what's here. And the way that we've always enjoyed the fair, longtime fairgoers, is shareable, small bites. We want to try lots of stuff. It's not necessarily one site. And that's what makes this fair the best on earth. There are so many great vendors out here. So, foods that are shareable, foods that are fresh, getting back to our roots, all natural, real ingredients, no fake flavorings. this is real food, and we're sticking by that kind of a deal. So, keep it small, shareable, goes good with the drink, obviously. That kind of thing was really the premise of what we wanted to base our menu design on, as well as the building and the overall concept as well.
You do have an official new food, which is sort of funny, right? Because everything at at your Summer Lakes Boathouse, it's all new. But tell me about the official new food that you guys have.
Yeah, I mean, little irony there, right? Agreed. I didn't really realize what the process is of getting a new food on the fairgrounds actually is, but it's a bigger deal than just throwing some new food in front of people that want to come and check out your spot. Go figure. You want to talk me through it?
Yeah. So Dockside Poppers is our official new food. Seasoned cream cheese, bacon in there, artichoke hearts, jalapeno peppers. We combine all of that together. We bread it, we deep fry it lightly. Comes with a homemade tomato chili jam for dipping. And again, it just really fits into that shareable item where you can buy an order of it and share with a lot of people. And you just have, we like to do a little of a lot is how we like to do things. So just a little nibble.
Where are people going to find you? Where are you going to be?
Big giant Ferris wheel. That's the best landmark right there. It's the biggest one in the country. It's new. It's bigger this year. We're on Underwood and Randall. That's the intersection. But for those of us that don't pay attention to streets, look for this way.
And for the big lighthouse.
Yeah,
we have a lighthouse on the top of our building. So that'll shine and bring you here too.
I mean, I think as we talk with Joe and Alyssa Zimmerley, part of what people don't necessarily know about this process is that you have a fair amount of skin in the game here, right? To make sure that this works. The cost, it's not like the fair is building this building, right? Can you guys talk about that a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. This is a commitment. And again, I believe it's what makes this fair so good. This is a family out here. You're in it for the long run. The way that they allow new vendors into this place is, it's difficult to get in, but for good reason. And they're doing a really good job at variety and packing in, different things each year that are new and interesting and that kind of thing. And so, definitely put your skin in the game is exactly how to phrase it. It's a commitment that you.
I mean, this had to cut this building and the construction of this. To say if I said $1 million, is that a crazy amount of money?
It seems like a crazy amount of money until you step back and see how much things cost.
Right.
You learn real quick. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much.
Yeah. I remember talking to Pat Mancini when he built his building.
Sure.
And he was nervous. He's like, I don't like this. Getting into the seven figures is not that far off. And maybe it is on the low end, depending on what the structure is. And it takes a couple of years. It may take 5 years to build it back, to get that money back. You just don't know. And it has to be successful. People have to like the food too, right?
Yeah, you have to want to be here. You want to make a commitment. We get to be here. That's really what this is all about. We feel honored. This is a dream come true for us, and we are all in. This is a decision that we made, and of course, you're talking. It's like, a year and a half ago. These were the conversations we were having together. And when you open up a new business, you get used to taking some risks. This is a big one. This is a big jump. We've been here before. And we feel like it's a right move. Nothing's guaranteed in this world, and you just have to go for it if it's what you really want, what you believe in. And this is one of those things for us.
I'm cheering for you guys. You are delightful. And Summer Lakes Beverage has been a hit for a number of years out at the fair, and people can find it at liquor stores and grocery stores too. But check them out, the Boathouse at the State Fair, Alyssa and Joe Zimmerley. We'll see you guys on Thursday.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason.
Pretty
Can't
fun.
wait to see you.
Have a good one.
All right. First day of the fair. We'll be out there. We'll be eating all the new foods and doing our best to not throw up. That's the plan. Day one. That's everybody's plan, for sure. That's DeRusha Eats. Drive time back in just a minute.
Drive time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
When you are walking around the Minnesota State Fair, you know you're going to want to go to the Oink booth at the Minnesota State Fair, thanks to my friends at Minnesota Pork. It's Jason here for the Minnesota Pork Board. I love telling their story. We're going to have some pig farmers on the show for sure. during the state fair, but getting that Oink booth this year, I believe it's newly expanded too, trying to tell the story a little better as to what life on the Minnesota pig farm is actually like, how much our 3,000 family farmers are working so hard to take care of the environment, take care of their animals, take care of you. Because ultimately, that's what it's all about. Lean, high-protein, delicious Minnesota pork. Every time you buy a Minnesota pork chop or Minnesota pork loin or some Minnesota bacon, you are doing your part to support a critical part of our agriculture community. And those farmers appreciate it, I'll tell you that much. If you need some recipe inspo, go to tastewhatporkcando.com. But I'll see you at the fair. I'll see you at the Oink booth. I'll see you having some Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
All right. It's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples. That was easy.
Don't even think about putting your clubs away this offseason. It's Jason DeRusha. Fall leagues are back and better than ever at Launchpad Golf. Leagues start the week of September 14th, and this season, prizes are bigger and better, plus our brand new weekly birdie hole challenge can feed your group if you shoot them straight. Grab your friends. It's time to golf and dine at your favorite new weekday get-together. Learn more and sign up today while spots last at my favorite hangout, launchpadgolf.com in Prior Lake.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Brew, and I feel like everything in my life depends on being connected. Whether I'm uploading a video, hopping on a call before my show, or video chatting with my family back in Michigan, I never have to think about my Wi-Fi. And that's why Xfinity stands out. You get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, you can get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity, imagine that.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things are slow over southbound 35E as move past Victoria Street down to West 7th Street. 94 westbound slow through Minneapolis as make way past Huron Boulevard into the Lowry Hill Tunnel. 694 eastbound got your slowdowns in place there as make the run from Matterhorn heading out to Highway 10. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mike Lynch here, and it goes without saying that Sweet Martha's cookies at the Minnesota State Fair are the best. But did you know you can have Sweet Martha's cookies year-round? That's right. Sweet Martha's cookie dough available in all kinds of flavors in the frozen food department of your favorite grocery store.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, CCO forecast brought to you by our friends at Sweet Martha's Cooking. Give me those cookies. Can't wait. Tonight, clear, 66. Tomorrow, 81. Good. Thursday, 81 better. First day of the fair. And some eclipse or something. I don't know. Who cares about that? Just trolling Dan Cook. Part of the fun of my job here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
I think that's a recipe for chaos.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Dolly Parton recorded that song twice before Whitney Houston made it an even bigger hit, The Bodyguard. One of the interesting nuggets I've read about Dolly Parton after learning of her death earlier this afternoon is something that I think a lot of us don't realize about big music stars is they end up writing so many songs for other musicians. And for sure, for our younger listeners, like Dolly's duets with younger artists have been maybe the way they know her songs. but I will always love you. That's been sort of the refrain of the images that her family has put out and her message to all of us.
So many connections you can draw between Dolly and other artists, whether it's she wrote songs for them or remember there's plenty of people that wrote songs for her. Islands in the Stream, which we played earlier.
Yeah.
Remember that was the Bee Gees wrote
Bee
that
Gees.
song.
All the Gibbs.
I mean, she's just connected to everybody. I mean, you talk about 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Forget that. Yeah. It's like 3 degrees of Dolly.
I was in Nashville and we went to see the Opry and the original Opry, and part of the tour, you read like how invested she was in the next generation of country, especially country women. Pretty cool stuff. People sending in their favorite songs. We'll play them for you. Text them in at 651-461-9226. You want to share a memory, you can send us a voice message too on the Odyssey app. Lots more show coming up. Continental Diamond, we thank them for their support. They're part of a celebrity wedding this past weekend. Did you see that? The Taylor Heisey and now Fox. Does she change her name? I don't know. But they went to Continental Diamond for that beautiful gemstone.
Dealing with all this stuff. There's 60 years worth of stuff in his house.
It's Chris Lindahl. And when people tell me what it's like to sell a house on the open market, they talk about stuff. Stuff you have to clean, stuff you have to paint, stuff you have to fix, stuff you have to negotiate, and stuff no one wants to deal with. That's why more people are saying yes to a guaranteed cash offer and joining the Red Check Club.
The house will be sold, the stuff will be gone.
Apply for your guaranteed cash offer today at chrislindahl.com.
Spread your arms out wide.
Hi, Ryan O'Neill with the Minnesota Real Estate Team and RE/MAX Advantage Plus. Our team is here to help you with any real estate questions you may have about buying, selling, or investing. Our approach is simple. We focus on you and your best interests. No hard sales pitch, rush, or pressure. We work on your timeline. 612-294-6949, mnrealestateshow.com. That's 612-294-6949.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. In a clinical study, Eliquis apixaban reduces stroke risk and has less major bleeding than warfarin.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Ask your doctor about the #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner, Eliquis.
News Talk 830 WCCO, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A new court filing over the Kennedy Center naming battle. The Justice Department in the filing suggesting that the Kennedy Center for Performing Arts could face demolition.
The Trump administration is now threatening to tear down the iconic Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. if a federal judge doesn't green-light President Trump's efforts to renovate the building and put his own name on the front of it. The Justice Department's lawyers wrote that without Trump's help, the, quote, decrepit Kennedy Center arts venue would go into a, quote, death spiral. And they say it could be demolished and then replaced with something like a, quote, large outdoor amphitheater. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, the Kennedy Center.
The divide between the U.S. and one of its top trading partners deepening. Canada leaders today detailing plans for retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods set to begin September 8th. That in response to the U.S.'s 50% tariffs on Canadian goods in effect. Here's ABC's Karen Travers.
Why is Canada doing this? Of course, we heard the Prime Minister say that they're in a trade war right now. They feel attacked and they have to respond. A senior Canadian government official said that they're doing this to level the playing field and protect Canadian companies. companies and that this is a necessary move. The president today said that of all the countries he deals with, Canada is the most difficult and unreasonable.
Fans are mourning the death of Dolly Parton. The country music legend started her career writing and singing hits that include Jolene and I Will Always Love You. She also turned to acting. In a 1982 interview with ABC's Barbara Walters, Parton talked about what she wanted to accomplish.
I want people to know there's some brains beneath the wig and a heart beneath the boobs. And I think people are beginning to see that.
Dolly's nephew, Brian Seaver, says they'll carry on her legacy.
Dolly was a farmer, just like her daddy. He farmed the soil, she farmed songs and happiness.
Dolly Parton was 80 years old. President Trump has ordered flags be flown at half-staff in her honor. You're listening to ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Partly cloudy skies and 80 degrees at 5:02. I'm Susie Jones. The hour's top story. A federal judge in Texas is expected to rule on a request to have an ICE agent extradited to Minnesota. Christian Castro is facing charges in Hennepin County after allegedly shooting an immigrant in the leg during Operation Metro Surge. He's also accused of falsely reporting a crime after the January incident. He was arrested in Texas shortly afterwards and is currently in Texas in jail, but the governor there, Greg Abbott, has refused to extradite him here to Minnesota. During an emergency meeting today, attorneys with the Attorney General's office, Keith Ellison's office, argued that Abbott has no discretion in this case. The judge, again, expected to rule tomorrow. Case is complicated, though, by the fact that the U.S. Department of Justice today announcing it's considering charging Castro as well. And Castro himself could be set free as a deadline for holding him ends on Thursday. Minnesota Secretary of State Steve Simon defending the state's primary recount rules amid several voter-related cases in the state.
Simon is pushing back against MyPillow founder Mike Lindell's decision to withhold a nearly $1 million payment for a state recount because Lindell wants it to include all candidates. Simon tells WCCO Radio's Chad Hartman that's just not how the law works.
It's got to be segmented in this way.
Lindell, who lost the Republican gubernatorial primary to House Speaker Lisa Demuth, argues that limiting the scope of the recount is unlawful. Simon says he expects that suit to be settled quickly. This comes as the U.S. Supreme Court recently cleared a hurdle for an executive order restricting mail-in voting. Simon says 2 months from the midterm election, he likes Minnesota's chances of winning this fight.
All they did was open the door to having the argument, which we now definitely will, about whether this thing can proceed even further. I like our chances.
Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty announcing that her office will not be filing felony charges against right-wing extremist Jake Lang. Lang was arrested and faced charges of inciting a riot after he and his associates drove their cars onto the sidewalk outside Minneapolis City Hall Saturday. Prosecutors reviewed the case and said there was not a path forward for felony charges to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. However, Lang isn't going anywhere as he is being held right now without bail because he is wanted in Texas for a felony.
This guy, just the dumbest. What is going on with the news today? First, we got the Mike Lindell clown show.
I know.
This guy, like, who's shocked that he had some kind of idiotic, like, oh, well, I don't have the money, I guess. Well, now the whole rules are. So then there's that. And then there's this Jake Lang.
Yes.
Why do we have to be the headquarters for every lunatic in the world?
I have no idea.
Is every city like this, or it's just here?
I think it's here. I think we attract lunacy. My point is that we were thinking Taylor and I have a plan.
Okay.
We'll give them Jake Lang if we can get Christian Castro.
Oh.
A prisoner swap.
Have a little prisoner swap.
We could do it. We could have a little round table. We could have them both in the green room.
This world. What is going on?
If I knew, I would tell you. I mean,
I didn't want to interrupt because I didn't want to get going.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Now,
I feel like
I'm wound up.
I feel like you're wound up, and I'm not sure what to do with you.
Is anyone thrilled? Like, oh, you turn on the news today. Is this why no one wants to watch the news?
Probably because it's
like,
hard to follow.
Here's Mike Lindell.
He is something else, though.
Exit stage right. You lost. You're a loser. You lost the election. Get over it. Go back to making pillows. You were so good when you were the pillow guy back in the day. It was great. Like drug addict, started his business.
It was
all
a good
these people
story.
working. It was so inspiring. And then he had to become a nut job. Now let's file lawsuits. The whole thing's rigged. You lost by 40,000 votes. Get out of here. Poor Lisa Dameth trying to run a campaign, and it's the circus show of the All right, I'm sorry, it's the news.
Are you going to pause?
Is this what other people do while you're hearing the news? Do you like turn to your spouse in the car
and go,
and just do your own talk show like what I'm doing here?
Well, it would be fun if everybody did. Oh, look, guess who's calling me?
Oh,
Joe Tamburino.
Oh, I better let you get that.
No, I want to
Are you in trouble with the law?
No, but I want to
Is this an update on your case?
I don't have any cases, dude. I'm clean. But listen, Joe might have some insight into all these shenanigans we're talking about.
All right.
So I'm going to get, well, no, we have to do traffic and weather together.
We should probably do that.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And brought to you by Iona, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. Got your slowdowns, 494 northbound Bass Lake Road into the Fish Lake interchange, 35W northbound slows past Highway 36, and then again as you head toward County Road 96. Driving along 35 east southbound, it's slow. Victoria Street heading down to Shepherd Road. Attention motorists, Iona, Minnesota wants you to slow down when driving in construction zones. You're now entering their work zone where they are building a better Minnesota for you. So please slow down when you see orange cones and yellow vests and save lives. Brought to you by Iona, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk KTOW, CCO.
One of the hottest SUVs in America, the 3-row Kia Telluride and Telluride Hybrid. Luther Kia of Bloomington has a ton of them with $750 owner loyalty cash. Brand new facility now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Check out their brand new facility or always online at LutherKiaofBloomington.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
It stays mild overnight tonight, but the sky clears out, dropping back to 66. Tomorrow, pretty close to average. Partly cloudy, 81. A bit of a breeze behind that cold front. Northwest wind, 10 to 15 miles per hour. How about the first day of the state fair? Glorious. Sunny with a high of 81.
Right now, mostly to partly cloudy skies.
If you're watching on our live video stream, I just shared a picture that Schaefer shared of him and Dolly Parton.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
really
I
sweet.
see it. And he looks so young.
He said she was one of the nicest because Chris used to be a country music DJ.
I did not know that.
And so they kept, Dolly kept calling Chris darling.
Darling.
And he said she was sweeter than sugar.
Oh.
Pretty cute.
Yeah.
But Schaefer, by the way, Schaefer back in the day, handsome devil.
Yeah, I see that.
He's still a good looking guy.
Yes, he is.
But he was much younger.
I wonder if he cares that his nickname is Cheeks.
I don't think he cares. I know he's talked about that before on TV, but it was like a high school nickname.
Yep. That
Yeah.
somebody.
I dated a girl that they called Cheeks. My friends all called her Cheeks. Not because of that. Although.
Oh, my Lanta. This conversation has gone to the dogs.
It's true. It's probably time for you to go home. Huh?
Yeah. No, I'm going to go talk to Joe Tamburino.
All right.
All right. Peace out, homie.
We are news. We are talk. We are News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRusha, fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Once again, here's Jason DeRusha.
So I had some thoughts as to what we should talk about here, but I'm wondering if on a day when so many of us are enjoying our favorite Dolly Parton songs, connecting with the memory and the importance that she had.
Shut up and drive.
Should we just do like Give me your favorite Dolly Parton song. 651-461-9226, and then Dan will play it. Don't give me that look. You can do it. You can do it. Dan's like, what are you doing to me? What if I don't have it? Well, what if you do have it? We've played I Will Always Love You. Texter coming in at 651-461-9226. Islands in the Stream with Kenny Rogers. Can you play Islands in the Stream with Kenny Rogers? One of her biggest hits was that duet. They actually toured because that song was so hot, written by the Bee Gees. This is August 1983. And this, when I think Dolly Parton, I am 8 years old in Des Plaines, Illinois. My dad has taken my mom's favorite Dolly Parton songs and recorded them on a VHS tape so she could just press play on that and have that music running through her house. And I hear, when I connect with childhood, I hear this.
Islands in the stream, that is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world, and we rely on each other. From one lover to another.
Now, I thought it was Islands in the Street, which made no sense. Like, Mom, I don't even get it. Why is there an island in the middle of the street? She's like, stream. Like, that's your opinion. I don't know. Texter says, Jolene. How big was that song? And I saw Miley Cyrus perform Jolene live at the former XL Energy Center. This song goes back. This is a 52-year-old song. The initial version.
Jolene. Jolene, I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene.
Olivia Newton-John, the White Stripes, Miley, Pentatonics won a Grammy with this song. Beyonce, remember the Beyonce version of this song? Change the lyrics, change the production. But this is like OG, early Dolly Parton. Texters coming in. Yeah, that Dolly and Miley Cyrus Jolene duet was special. Texter says it's 5:15 and we all just got done working. So you know what song you have to play from the Dolly Parton canon.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. Barely getting by, it's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy and you let it. 9 to 5.
So good. So good. There's no doubt that, all the think pieces are going to come out over the next couple days, right? And I can already imagine all these headlines, and people have already been squirting them out of themselves like this afternoon, right? Dolly Parton, feminist icon. Dolly Parton, unifier. Dolly Parton, philanthropist. And the philanthropy, to me, is where I really feel like part of the love for her is that, one, she was so accessible so early. To have a star in that era talking about getting a boob job and talking about having fake fingernails and talking about fake blonde. It just wasn't done. It was so disarming, right? And today's celebrities do an absolute, low rent imitation of that, where you try to let your fans in on who you really are. No, that Dolly was just letting it rip like that, which was just shocking at the time. Who talked about having a boob job in the 80s? Nobody. Now, Andrew pointing out that the tickets for the new Dolly Broadway show are going to sell out in a second. The magic, and there are certain people that you know that they're in on the joke. Dolly Parton played the role of the dumb blonde because she was not dumb. She was playing that role. She knew what she was doing. She was the flamboyant, out there person who also had been with her husband for almost 60 years before he died last year. I don't know. It's pretty cool stuff. I'm saying that all these think pieces are going to come out, and also I'm going to read them all. Because I don't know about you guys, but don't you hunger for that type of person where you're like, Dolly Parton donated $1 million in the early days of COVID to Vanderbilt University to develop a COVID vaccine to help in that search. Well, I mean, it's amazing. Hundreds of millions of free books have been distributed all over Minnesota, all over America, all over the world because of her nonprofit. I mean, this is what we should all be doing. Not all of us can start a nonprofit. Not all of us can donate $1 million to develop some life-saving technology, but you can do something. You can do something outside of yourself to make the world better, and I think that's part of it. Let's break. In a minute, I want to spend a little bit of time on inconsequential grievances. I feel like if you were following my social media today, before the news of Dolly Parton's death, today I was engaging in my favorite type of complaint, low stakes. So I may sound like I'm at an 11 on these issues, but it's about a 2. It's the fun stuff. We'll do that when we come back.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
So yesterday I was at the Galleria in Edina because it had been a minute since I was out to J.H. & Sons, and my gosh, they have so much great stuff in store right now. If you haven't been out there since earlier this summer, you got to get there because J.H. & Sons at the Galleria is stocked with that sort of transitional clothing that I think is sometimes hard to find. So I love to layer. Dan knows, like, ideal for me, how many layers would you say would be a peak DeRusha fashion statement?
Oh, I'd say peak is 4.
4 is peak, yeah.
3 is pretty average.
3 is average, yeah. We're close to layering season, but, when it's 60 is the high, I don't want a bulky sweater. Thin, beautiful sweaters. I bought a sweater at J.H. & Sons that's a zip-up that had buttons in it. So it's one-piece sweater, but it looks like you're layering. They're like, just put a T-shirt on underneath. You look like you've got three layers on. I'm like, now we're working smarter, not harder. That's what I'm into. Great men's suiting. If you've got a wedding coming up, I have one coming up in late October. Get to J.H. & Sons. Go see the experts. Say hi to Alicia. She took care of me because Bryce was busy. Chuck, Dean, the whole crew. Go say hi at jhnSons.com.
At Wealth Enhancement, we believe wealth is in the details. Our team of trusted advisors craft personalized solutions to help you achieve your financial goals. Tune in to the Your Money Show on News Talk 830 WCCO every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. or go to wealthenhancement.com to connect with one of our advisors.
You know that feeling when your body is tired, but your brain just won't shut off? We've all been there. Jordana here. That's where CBN comes in. CBN, short for cannabinol, is a naturally occurring hemp cannabinoid known for its relaxing, sleepy effects. Think of it like the lights dimming signal for your brain. While CBD helps you stay calm, CBN helps your body know it's time to rest. That's why we call it CB Night Night. Mini Leaf Night and Night Plus Sleep Gummies combine CBN, CBD, and CBG to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, and then wake up feeling refreshed. Go to minileaf.com, MINNELEAF.com. And here's big news. If you need your product today, there's no wait. Stop into any of the 16 top 10 liquor locations for better sleep tonight.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this late-night ad to make you more alert, which could help your driving. And science tells us that pulsing beats faster, stimulating audio like traveling sound, and voices on the higher, so-called brighter end of the audio spectrum like this can encourage focus. Also, a familiar tune can help, so...
Liberty, 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 liberty. Sprained wrist, ankle twist. Broken thumb, can't make a fist. Busted knee, surgery. That patch of ice you didn't see.
Where pain starts, Jernavix suzetrigine begins. Jernavix is a non-opioid 50 milligram prescription tablet for adults with moderate to severe acute pain that reduces pain signals before they reach the brain.
Tendon tear, nose repair, tripping on that broken stair, dislocation, operation, moped crash while on vacation.
Do not take Jernavix with CYP3A inhibitors. Avoid use with grapefruit or liver problems, as these may increase side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medicines if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Jernavix may make certain medicines and birth control less effective. Side effects include itching, muscle spasms, rash, and elevated muscle enzymes.
Joint displacement, knee replacement, fell on marbles in the basement, ladder slip, broken hip, that rock climb where you lost your grip.
To learn more about Jernavix, ask your doctor. Call 1-833-589-PAIN or visit Jernavix.com.
Where curiosity hits the gas. Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
And how I wish that love is all we'd need to live. What a life we'd have. 'Cause I've got so much to give. But you know I feel so sad down inside my heart.
Playing Dolly Parton songs throughout the show today. In our first hour, we had a conversation with a country music radio Hall of Famer who told a really touching story about the time she met Dolly Parton. And that is available on podcast. So wherever you get podcasts, just search Drive Time with DeRusha. We'd love it if you give us a subscription there. You just click follow and it'll download all our updates for you. And you don't even really need to listen to them. If you just click on them every once in a while, it would make the data look really good for us. So that would be fine. Is that fine, Dan? I don't know how this all works.
I don't either. So yeah, if that
just click it.
That clicks the clicker and gets the numbers to the right people.
Audio off. You don't really need to listen. On Facebook, Tina says her favorite Dolly Parton song is A Coat of Many Colors. May she rest in peace, a beautiful woman. Tina?
My coat of many colors that my mama made for me. Made only from rags, but I wore it so proudly. Although we had no money, I was rich as I could be. In my coat of many colors my mama made for me.
Pretty cool. That's actually a really powerful song if you listen to the lyrics. Good stuff. All right, low stakes arguments. This morning I get an email, and in the Enough segment on Wednesdays, Dan, one of the common things that people will say they've had enough of is the request for feedback. We live in a country that corporate America is constantly asking for us to fill out a survey and share our feedback, and they couldn't give two craps about your feedback, is sort of the vibe I get. The one that makes me laugh the most is Caribou Coffee. And I love Caribou Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I love you guys. The other day, their light roast at Caribou, and I just like coffee. I go to Caribou Coffee and get coffee. They make their money on everybody getting the, foam.
Caramel high rise is my order, yeah.
Yeah, they're making money off you.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're making money off me.
Just not as much.
Not as much, right. I'm paying $3.50, but they had the La Minita Peaberry, I think.
Excuse me?
For the light roast?
Do I have to hit the dump button?
Is delicious. Before the cup of coffee was handed to me, boop, I had an email asking to rate my experience. I don't even know yet.
Yeah. Let me finish the coffee first.
Can't the computer geniuses at Caribou build in a 2-minute delay? Right? I get it. They ring it up. Boom. It's linked to my rewards number or whatever.
Yeah, but there should still be a way to set
How about a little
timer
delay?
on it. Yeah.
Anyway, so today I got what I would say is the most laughable request for a survey, and it came from Sun Country. Here's what the email said. We're always looking for ways to make travel feel easier, from planning the trip to settling into your seat. This 30-minute survey is powered by our research partner, LEK. But it's really about learning more from you, how you travel, what you value, and what would make the experience better. So at this point, I'm like, do I get a free flight?
Where's the $100 flight voucher? Yeah.
I mean, what am I getting for being your...
Remember those days? Remember the salad days when companies would actually offer you a little spiff for filling out the survey? That's gone.
Nothing. Your feedback will help shape what comes next. Thanks for taking the time to share it.
No.
You're welcome.
For nothing.
I'm not doing it. I believe it should be illegal. Punishable by, I don't know, public stoning, perhaps.
Oh, you know who?
Like, you shouldn't be able to corporate America should not be able to send out a survey that doesn't include payment.
This sounds like a Senator Klobuchar issue. Doesn't this? I mean, that's right in her wheelhouse.
Oh, we should make a top 10 Amy Klobuchar for governor issues. Banning surveys.
Yep.
Banning questions at the gas pump when the temperature is below 20 degrees.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, if you ask, do you want a car wash when it's sub-zero? We're going to yank a pump out of the ground.
Yeah. Speaking of car wash, that's what I thought of when you started talking about surveys, because where I used to enjoy the survey was you were kind enough to buy me a car wash subscription. So every time I'd go to the car wash, you'd get a survey.
Yes, I got
survey text. And I used to really enjoy that because I knew it got to you because you would then screenshot it and send it to me like, hey, did you enjoy your car wash?
Right.
And I knew that's how I knew it bugged you. And now the other day I go to the car wash and now I'm getting them.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want that. It's supposed to go to you. Why is it coming to me?
The one that annoys me the most is from the garbage company, from WM, formerly Waste Management. You just picked up my trash can. Like, I have no feedback to share.
Another Senator Klobuchar issue is the backup beeping of the waste management trucks that goes on for 20 minutes. 4 or 5 beeps is enough.
Yeah.
If you don't, get out of the way in 4 or 5 beats, I'm sorry, that's on you.
I started to fill out a survey once for Lunds and Byerly's because I really like the people that work there, and I was like, I want to send that feedback, and so I started filling out the survey.
And guess what that got you?
Well, then it asked for another question.
Yeah, it did,
and then another page, and you keep answering, and they're like, "Could you expand on that?"
Yeah,
like no. You get like a text box. That's the newest game on these things. You start filling out, and it's like, not enough words. Like, screw you, not enough words. All right, we're going to break. In a minute.
Maybe that's what you do next time, is just like in all caps, just tell them why their surveys are dumb.
Survey.
Yeah.
It's just so upsetting. All right, we're going to break in a minute. This week, rightly so, Minnesota is refocusing on the horrors that happened on August 27th at Annunciation Church and School. But for the families who had students in that church, they never had the luxury of changing the topic or turning their focus away. The Minnesota Star Tribune masterfully shared 4 families' video diaries. And the video journalist who paved the way and started those conversations to build the trust to tell those stories is going to join us in just a minute. If you haven't seen this yet at startribune.com, it's worth subscribing to the Star Tribune to see this project alone. It is that powerful and it's that important. We'll talk to the video journalist in just a minute.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Dollar General.
Google took the wraps off of its new Pixel smartphones and wearables, and prices have gone up. The Pixel 11 starts at $899, $100 more than the Pixel 10 when it debuted last year. Google says the Pixel 11 is designed so its Gemini AI model can be integrated into the phone, and it has 25% faster wireless charging than prior Pixel devices. I'm Jason Brooks.
This back-to-school season, every Bic product you buy helps a teacher in need stock their classroom. In fact, up to 97% of teachers fund their own classroom supplies each year. For every pen or pencil sold, the Kids in Need Foundation gets one too. Up to 5 million pens. Grab Bic in the stationery aisle today and help us bring joy Bic to school. Based on Bic U.S. Teacher Research 2025. Full T&Cs at bictoschool.com.
Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington. I was just at their gorgeous new facility at 494 and 35W in Bloomington and took a test drive in something that is sort of hard to find in the marketplace right now, and that is a sedan. Are you like me? I love sedans. I like a 4-door sedan, enough room for the family in the back seat, but I don't need a big hulking SUV, and I certainly don't want that big price tag. Kia's got sedans, and I love the K5, right around $30,000. It's a great ride. Kia's got all sorts of specials going on right now. The 2026 Kia Seltos. I've driven the Kia Sportage and the Kia Sorento. Those are beautiful cars. And they got the 2027 Kia Telluride. True zero leasing is what they're calling it. It's zero down payment. Check it out. Check out all the disclaimers, all the information. You can see it at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
If you're planning to move to a senior living facility, you know firsthand that the wait lists are long, and when an opening pops up, you should take it right away. If you need to sell your house to make it happen, you're going to need to work quickly. My friends from the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker.
Hi, Amanda. It's Dan. Can you hear me okay?
Your home sells.
Yes. Hi. I'm so early.
Steve and Cheryl knew when they got to
I'd
the
much
top
rather
of the
so
list,
early
they
than so late,
needed
so
to
that
be
works out
ready.
just fine.
They heard me
I wanted to
talking
make sure
about
there was
John on
time
the
if
radio
my
and called
mic or
the agent to come up with a plan. It made
Appreciate
it so they
that very
didn't have
much.
to
No,
feel
it sounds good on
rushed,
our end
and
if
so
you can
that
hear
the
us
short
okay.
notice of their move wouldn't leave
Very
them
good.
stuck paying
We'll
for two
break.
homes.
We'll be
When they
back
got the
here.
call
We're going to do
saying
traffic
that a
and weather in about a
spot
minute
in
and a
a
half. So give about
senior
3
living
minutes.
center
We'll
was
be back.
open, they knew they
Cool.
had to act.
Thanks so
Luckily,
much.
they'd already come up
You're
with a
welcome.
plan with John. He fired up the marketing system. Interest came in right away. Took him 2 days to find a buyer. That's it for Steve and Cheryl. Their home sold for $5,000 over asking price. They planned ahead. You should too. Curious what your home is worth? Go to johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Seeing some slowing for 169 both directions right now between Highway 55 and Highway 7. Traveling 212 westbound, you got your slowdowns there. 494 as you head out toward Highway 5. And it looks like 35E is flowing really pretty good right now between 94 and 694. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jordana Green here. I pray you and your family are always safe. But if there's ever a time where you need an advocate after an accident, let Mike Bryant of Bradshaw and Bryant help you. He will work with and for you in dealing with the insurance company. Call 800-770-7008 today. Bradshaw and Bryant, seeking justice for the injured.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Bradshaw and Bryant bring us the weather forecast. Here's Chris Schaefer.
Another dry forecast, mainly clear overnight tonight. We'll fall back to about 66. It will be less humid tomorrow with a high around 81. Partly cloudy, a bit breezy. Northwest wind 10 to 15. First couple of days of the fair look fabulous. Sunny, not humid, highs in the low 80s. It does get humid this weekend, perhaps some rain Saturday and Sunday.
Right now in downtown Minneapolis, it is 78 degrees here on CCO.
Jason DeRusha.
Just because he thinks he has a louder voice does not always make him right.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hi.
Hi.
You want to introduce yourselves?
Hi.
What's your name?
My name's Willem.
Okay, what grade are you in?
I'm in 3rd grade, and I go to Annunciation School.
And you are?
My name's Eloda. I'm in 5th grade. I go to Annunciation School, too.
And I'm Sarah Slack, and I also go to Annunciation Catholic School.
You teach.
I'm a 1st grade teacher at Annunciation.
Such innocence. And
Yeah.
that video starts what for me was an absolutely emotional, heart-wrenching, gutting, inspiring, all of the emotions from this video project, this reporting project at the Minnesota Star Tribune. It was called The Annunciation Diaries.
Yeah.
And video journalist Amanda Anderson is with us via live video hookup if you're watching on our live stream on YouTube. Amanda, this for me to consume was incredibly emotional. I cannot even begin, first of all, to thank you for the gift that you have given to all of us of access and of a glimpse inside what must have been the most hellish year of these families' lives.
I think you're right. Yeah, this was a mixture of emotions for all of us. I mean, especially these families that were so gracious in participating in this project and really helping us see glimpses into the highs and the lows, the inspiring moments, the tearful, sad moments, all of it.
August 27th is how the families refer to that moment. For you, and I know as a journalist, you're telling their stories, but to me, you're part of this story as well, Amanda, because you were out on the scene when this happened, right?
Yeah, I was one of the many, many, many journalists that responded on August 27th, and it never feels great, as you would imagine, to respond to events like these. And I remember talking to a gentleman that was there paying his respects, and he said, you know, the real story happens when all of these big cameras are gone, when all the national media is gone. And I mean, he was right. And a lot of people said they didn't want their stories forgotten and they didn't want to just be statistics. And so I remember thinking, as local media, as the Minnesota Star Tribune, the asset that we have that's different than all these big platforms is we have time. We had time to sit with people in their grief, and we had time to sit with people in the highs and the lows and really be partners in reporting. And being on this collaborative journey together. I mean, it was the people that submitted these video diaries working with me. They were filming just as much as I was, if not more. And letting us into these very intimate moments, driving, at home, at school, on spring break, at Great Wolf Lodge. So it was just so nice to be on this journey with the people and having them let me into their lives in these ways.
It's super emotional because, so, I spent 20 years as a journalist before I came into talk radio, and I've been to these sorts of scenes before, but I'm also a dad. And when you see these little kids, because they're so young, and you see them like at Great Wolf Lodge, like trying to have some normal moments, or skiing, trying after they were in that church when that was happening. And you have to move forward, but how do you get out of sort of living in that pain? And I think like Sarah Slack, really, her story as a teacher, as she brings in the bunny into the classroom to try to have some joy. And that final scene of the pea themed party.
Yeah, their first grade family feast. Yeah, it's such a moment.
I mean, I was a puddle of tears at the end of that. I want to play this scene with 10-year-old Wes and his mom, Katie. And Wes is going in, I think it's his backyard. Were you there shooting this moment when they went out to set the scene of what's going on here?
So I believe you're about to play the scene where we see the tree that he planted to honor Harper Moisky and Fletcher Merkel. And Katie Simpson, his mother, very intentionally set up Fridays as Friday Fun Day so that he was close with his friends and he was very social, and he is a very active kid. And that the bond between his friends and his need to be with them and be doing activities and just being together only grew after August 27th. And so she planned these Friday fun events. And I went over on a Friday right before they were going off somewhere. So Weston was like antsy to get going to where they were going. I can't remember. I think they were going to the beach that day. But I really wanted to see the tree that he planted. And so we were chatting inside for a little bit, and then he was all excited to go talk about his tree so that he could eventually get to Friday Fun. But I believe that is the clip we're about to see.
That is it. Let's take a listen.
My tree! It's pretty good.
Why did we plant it, Wes?
For exhibition.
And?
I wanted to plant the tree to remember Harper and Fletcher.
I think about Harper and Fletcher every single day, and I look for them in nature. I look for signs from Harper and Fletcher. I've seen so many rainbows.
Yeah.
The emotion of a kid who planted a tree for these two kids who are gone, and seeing the growth of that tree.
Yeah, he talked about how he noticed it had grown from here to here and how it wasn't as tall as him when they planted it. And now it was maybe 6 inches taller, but still taller than him.
It's so powerful. For you, these moments, what was it like to be there with these families as they went on, the highs and lows of like trying to get legislation done? That was a key part of this storytelling. And also, though, trying to take care of their families, even when you have someone who is, and any parent who's lost a child. The way the world works is the parents are supposed to die first. The child is not supposed to die first. But you also often have other children. So you have to keep moving. I just wondered kind of what are the things that really jumped out to you, Amanda?
There were many moments that were punches to the gut. One was a moment at the end where you hear Jackie Flavin, Harper Moisky's mother, read this piece that she had written. And she talked about waiting in the carpool line to pick up her daughter at the end of school. And there were moments when she was speaking this that we all could relate to. You can relate to having that moment where you think you see someone familiar and you're like, oh,
Let's
that can't be.
play that.
Yes. Yeah. It's a great
I
moment.
pulled that moment too, Amanda. You and I
Yeah.
have the same sense,
I'm
right?
getting ahead of you. I'm so sorry, Jason.
No, it's very good. We didn't say what I was going to pull, but you're landing right on the moments that for me were the gut punch. And this moment of a mom, Jackie Flavin, who lost Harper in this shooting, one of the two kids killed, is really heartbreaking.
Every afternoon, I sit in the carpool line directly in front of the church where the shooter parked the day we lost Harper. 8 months later, this is just part of our routine now. Quinn likes me to get there early because she doesn't want to stand outside waiting after school. So every day I line up early and wait there, staring at the church. Then the line starts moving and I drive past the 5th graders doing safety patrol. Harper was excited to someday do safety patrol. Then I scan the crowd looking for Quinn, and almost every day, for one split second, I think I see Harper standing there too. Then reality catches up, and I remind myself I'm only picking up Quinn. And immediately after that comes this overwhelming wave of gratitude, because how lucky am I that I still get to pick up Quinn? That's the strange thing about grief, that devastation and the gratitude live right on top of each other.
I mean,
Mm.
that
And there-
to me, that's everything, Amanda.
Yeah, and there's so many moments in there where I had to pause and and reflect, thinking about recognizing someone. We all can relate to that feeling. Or thinking, I remember for me personally being in 5th grade and being so excited to do safety patrol. It was the coolest thing. So I just wasn't expecting to relate in these very small but powerful ways that help you feel connected, where help to the human experience.
Amanda Anderson is a video journalist, part of the effort that involved a number. I mean, the web interface, the way they built this, it's just like, you're like, only the Star Tribune could do this. I mean, the amount of resources it took to tell this story. When you look at it in totality, obviously the families were trying to get some gun control legislation passed. They got out of one house. It never was brought up for a vote again. Although that's disputed as to whether or not it was, there was a committee that voted it down, but either way, to me, the legislative battle was interesting, but it was the human side of this that is going to stick with me. How about you?
Oh, for sure. We're natural storytellers, and we connect to one another based on the stories that we tell. And so, while it's interesting to follow the politics, that's a part of the I was just along for the ride on these particular families' journeys, and that was one that became very important for a lot of these families. And I again was very lucky to be included in their regular Monday evening meetings, and being privy to when they were doing the desk installation at the Capitol. And I think that those moments when you're seeing the heart of why people are the way they are and choose to fight for the things they fight for, make it compelling.
Yeah, that weekly meeting at Red Wagon Pizza in South Minneapolis, and
It was. They were long meetings, but it was just so interesting. I think I probably went to 6 meetings, and they were a couple hours long, and just listening to the footage of this group developing over time, and the intentionality that they had with their messaging and how they wanted to reach people. And this is a project along, it's a marathon, not a sprint sort of situation, and realizing that from the jump, knowing that they were
that it was a journey. Yeah. As will be their emotional recovery for this. If you ever recover, you just keep moving. That's all you can do. Amanda Anderson, Excellent work. Really touched me. And thank you and the team. I know how overwhelming it can be also just for a journalist to look through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of video diary to try to put together this story. It was tremendous. Thanks, Amanda.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Jason.
You can check it out, StarTribune.com, the Annunciation Diaries. This week, as you hear remembrances, hear from the families, and you can do it through that project. We'll be back. Drive Time, wrap it up in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jason here from my dermatologist because skincare is important. And I have a family history of skin cancer, and I do not want to leave anything to chance. So once a year, I go to Tribune Dermatology for a full-body skin checkup. Tribune Dermatology makes it so easy. Sometimes we get nervous. You get worried to go to a doctor, full body, anything checkup. No, thank you. Not that interested in that. Let me tell you, the peace of mind I have from knowing that a mark or a mole is fine. If you have a mark or a mole that's changed shape or color or size, go see Dr. Mohiba Tareen and go see her soon. There are 12 clinics. Oh, seeing her soon. How about this? Your local dermatologist, it probably takes 3, 4, 5, 6 months to get an appointment. New customers, new patients at Tareen Dermatology, you're in within 3 weeks. You can make that appointment right now. Request it online, TAREEN. TareenDermatology.com.
You owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
Chad back here with you on CCO. I want to talk insurance and the group I have trusted for 30 years. Not just me, my father, my boys. We have been with Amber Scholl and Associates the entire time. They are with American Family, and trust is the right word. When something awful happens with your business or your home or your car, you need people who are available. You need individuals who have a team, and they've handled every situation. Amber and her team have done that. Let's be honest. Insurance rates are complicated. You need someone who knows this business in all ways, and I wouldn't be with Amber for 30 years unless I totally believed in her. Call today, 651-738-4811, and tell me you heard this spot from Chad on CCO.
On Reddit, true crime doesn't come from journalists. It comes from the victims, the witnesses, and sometimes the suspects themselves. Every Tuesday on Crimes of Reddit, we read these posts out loud. I'm Sabrina Dianaroga. And I'm Alexis Linkletter. One of us brings the story, the other goes in blind, reacting in real time, just like you. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Listen to and follow Crimes of Reddit, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things slow into downtown Minneapolis, North 35W, Lake Street to 94. West 94 jammed up as move between Riverside and the Larry Hill Tunnel. Cedar South jammed up, Diagonal Boulevard, head down to the Minnesota River Bridge. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. Serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com. JTR, roofing and siding, that's who we are.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
JTR Roofing bringing us the forecast tonight. Mainly clear, low of 66. Tomorrow, 81. Thursday, 81. Saturday at the fair, maybe that rain we need. Right now, it's 80 on CCO.
The ride home deserves better conversation. Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Round your little finger, here you come again. Just when I'm about to make it work without you, you look into my eyes and lie those.
There's something, all of these songs just make me smile. Such a voice, that sound transports you back. Dolly Parton. Dead at the age of 80. The interaction on Instagram and Facebook on my video that I posted has been tremendous. So keep it coming if you want to share your thoughts, your favorite songs. Just search DeRusha on social media, and I'm reading all of it. So appreciate that. Tomorrow on the show, we're going to talk about Reply All. Reply All. Because if I ran this company, I would go into the Outlook settings and remove the Reply All button. Is that possible? Is that a tech?
It would be difficult since we don't use Outlook, but you could give it a try.
I mean, Google, could you do it in the Google Workplace? This is such an Android response from this nerd. Well, actually, it's going to be a nice tease for tomorrow's show, Cook. Continental Diamond would appreciate more deference to my work. Continental Diamond, time check 557.
For all the things you have to do and places you need to be, let Uber take you there. Because you had just one